Alright. I'm going to post this as a live stream. Alright, let me just post this real quick. This is mostly just so it's easier to upload. Uploading a 3-hour video sounds quite unpleasant. There we go. Posted in the one option chat. Alright, this is posted now in a few places. I'll give it a minute or two in case anyone cares to come, and then we'll get started here. I'm mostly interested to see if anyone can tell me if the mic is wrong or, I don't know, not working. Okay. I've never streamed on YouTube before, so this is certainly interesting. Alright. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm just going to start, and then if anyone wants to review what I've gone through, they can do that. So, the way I review charts, first of all, guys, I have struggled a lot through April to June, trying new strategies, learning time spread, learning debit spreads, learning credit spreads, sizing up, practicing with larger size, practicing with smaller size, mostly larger size, losing a lot of money in certain days, doing a lot of dumb things. My hypothesis is that I'm not letting trades run, number one, and number two, that ultimately my trades, the D1s are very good, and actually that they do keep running, and that I'm just oversizing, or I'm not leaning on the D1 enough, or I'm just through some multiple mindset issues, I'm not executing the trade properly. So I think my picks are probably good, and we'll review that here, but I suspect the management is probably not that good. So going through this, the way this is going to work is on the top left is the date. I use about a $20,000 account while I learn this year, and I plan to add to that, but that's just what I got for now. And then we'll have a SPY chart right here. If there's no SPY chart here, I'll add one. Trades are over right here. And then I'll add some tags and stuff to each day. There's some trade charts down here, but we'll go into each trade. So this is April 1st, guys. So this was pretty bearish. You can see the previous day in the here. So we had like a LPTE day before. Next day was bearish. I'm not going to go over the overall SPY context because that'll make this stream way too long. We'll just talk about what we see on an M5 basis here. So we'll hop into our first trade here. This is ANET. This was actually a credit spread, and I think I looked at this just briefly before the stream just to kind of get my bearings here, and I think there's something wrong with the executions here, but I effectively took a credit spread. Oh, interesting. I made that really big. Okay. I took a credit spread over here, and they were 265, 262 and a half, which looking at this is not that good of a credit spread. I mean, this was a spread that had maybe one SMA, maybe like an L plus here. So in hindsight, maybe not the best credit spread. I ended up taking a loss on this somehow, even though the price has actually moved up. So I think there are some issues with execution. So I'm going to ignore that trade. There's going to be a few trades in here which are execution issues. But Lulu is our first trade. I had a pretty good beginning of April. So you'll see some good trades here, and then they'll quickly go downhill here. It was also at around this time that I was sizing up, so just keep that in mind. So Lulu is the first trade. Just looking at this, no, in the context of a bearish SPY. This is the D1 on Lulu, and then down here we have the M5 and then the D1. Ignore the white charts, they're just auto-generated stuff. So Lulu looks like a trade I took the day before, kind of fell down the next day through a gap down. I took this as a breakout debit spread. I don't have any problems with this, honestly. Looks like, yeah, I took it as a debit spread, sold it for profit. I'm not going to focus too much on trades I did well on. I'm looking more for trades I did terrible on. So Lulu looks like a decent trade. I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys the other thing I'm going to track throughout this process is I have a spreadsheet here to confirm my diagnosis. So I'm going to keep track of the number of times the stock that I picked kept on moving, the number of times it stayed flat, the number of times I was wrong, the number of times I exited incorrectly, and the number of times I was oversized. This is what I suspect is like my main issue, is these two boxes here, but I also want to see if I actually am picking good D1. So that's kind of the goal of this stream here. This might be quite a long stream, also just heads up, but we got to truck through it. So looking at Lulu real quick, Lulu ended up being a stock that kept on going in the direction. So I'm going to put that as a 1 here. And then for ANET, I'm going to say that went flat just for the purposes of not adding to the wins or the loss column, because I think the executions were incorrect in terms of what synced up. So TCOM is a trade here. This is the kind of trade I take an awful lot. I like these pullbacks down to support here. Something I'm noticing as well is the 15 EMA tends to be actually really nice, a really nice level. So it's something I'm going to be keeping track of throughout this review process. I also have multi-time frame exit analysis here as well activated, so I can kind of see I made $84 on this trade, but actually had I held till like 1 more hour, I would have made less. But had I held for 1 more day, I would have made 429. And that's because TCOM kind of continued on. So that's another one for the times the stock kept moving. This is the D1. D1 looks like a nice pullback, as we said, in the M5, which is really where the money is made, at least for my style of trading. Looks like I traded this breakout here and took profits really quickly. I don't know if I needed to take profits here, so that is interesting. Certainly could have held this. Looking at the D1 over here, definitely had room to run. There was no real risk of a pullback. Nice strong candle, really strong buying here. Didn't even test VWAP. So I don't know if I needed to sell it here, but I definitely think I might have been oversized. My normal size is approximately 8,000 US dollars on like a standard trade. This was 10,000, so it definitely sized up a little bit more, but I was trying to size more into my trades. Could have added here potentially instead of exiting. This is one of those areas, if you guys talk to Ryder, he'll ask you, if you're exiting a trade, maybe think about adding. And this definitely could have been a place I could have added. So I'm going to call that exiting too early. I don't think I was oversized here though. So that's all the trades on this day. Moving forward, April 2nd. April 2nd, so we can see the bearish trend day the day before, and then a big gap down, and then kind of a nothing burger. This must have been on some sort of news or whatnot. I'm going to call this day an LPTE. And that's just for the purpose of tagging. I took 2 trades on this day. Lulu was one of them. I think this Lulu trade is from the day before, so I guess it counts swings also on that day, so we can ignore this. And then my other trade ended up being HUM, H-U-M. This stock's a pain in the butt, by the way. I've traded this thing a few times. I never really have that much fun. But this was on a nice gap down. Looks like I'm missing my charts here. Let me just quickly add them in. But it looks like Walkaway says that had I held this trade on, had I held this trade, this would have been quite unprofitable. So, is it not going to give me my charts? Oh, it's fetching the data. Regardless, we can come back to this. I might need a moment to get these charts. We can come back. All right. So Lulu though, actually that's from the previous day, so I don't have to deal with that. All right, April 3rd, next day. This day on SPY looks like a move up after the low probability trading environment. And then so I would say this is pretty LPTE, just based. If I come in as a buyer, I'm looking for SPY to pull back, and it pulls back that much. That kind of ruins the day. So I'm gonna say it's an LPTE with maybe a bullish bias, but I don't really want to put that in. I took a lot of trades on this day though, probably more than I needed to. All right, let's see what I did. I took a credit spread on Meta that worked out within like 2 days. That's interesting. Let's take a look at the M5 here. I bought, there we go, I bought here approximately 10:30, and within 1 day I was in profit. That's kind of lucky. Did the stock keep on going though? That's the real question. It really didn't. It kind of buzzed off, so I would say I was wrong on this one. I just got lucky because I was able to take profit so quick. Yeah, beautiful support of 480. This was a 480 spread. 480. I mean, I didn't even have an SMA here, so I think that is pretty lucky that this worked out. I should have done like a 450, but 450 is too far down. Probably couldn't get a premium. moving on. I'm not going to focus too much on trades that went my way because I don't really want to do that kind of analysis. I want to focus on where the mistakes were because there's a lot of them. Took Marvel also as a credit spread. I think I followed this one. I think this was on a live event with Pete and Harry. I think they called out Marvel. And I liked it enough to enter. Entered. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty much right after the live event. And ended up, I think, getting out pretty quickly. I think this trade didn't sink the exit, but I know I took a loss on this one. I think I exited somewhere in here, so I'll have to count that as a discard because I don't want to affect the data. All right. Oops, wrong way. Next up, I have Cat. $10,000 worth of shares. That's pretty good size, I think. Not too oversized. You guys are going to see some crazy oversized trades here. Really nice D1. This is back when Cat was strong. Nice strength. How long was I right for? Not that long, but I'm going to say I was more right than wrong. Like there was an opportunity to swing this, and I don't think I did. And in fact, I ended up losing money on this trade. This was a breakout with a pullback entry. And oh man, that's brutal. Look at this M5. Beautiful gap up, bounce off VWAP, moving back up. I like these where they're not breaking out necessarily, but they're just kind of showing strength off of VWAP. So I get in here and I sell for some reason. The thing didn't even break VWAP. I don't think I was oversized. That's just silly. I mean, if you look at the walkaway analysis, I mean, if I just held it end of day, I'm up $111, which for me is pretty decent. Like if I made $100 a day, I would be doing 100% returns almost on the account. So that makes no sense why I would exit like that. But anyways, that's why we do the walkaway. Next up, we have MU Micron. I took this long after a nice bout of strength here. It never pulled back. Maybe that's probably my downfall here. This thing was bound to pull back at some point. Yeah, $10,000 worth of shares is not too oversized. If I look at the M5 here, I mean, what am I doing? Bottom to pull back, that's nice. All right, get another dip. Didn't even break this 126 level, and yet I exited. It's wild. Ends up going right in the direction I want to go into, and I would say this didn't really necessarily continue in my direction, but certainly it made a move up to like a 130. That would have been a very nice gain. I would say I'm ultimately wrong on this play because I didn't hold it for that long, and you would have to sell at the open probably, but yeah, unfortunate. mRNA, this was a credit spread. Yeah, I remember this one. This was also when I followed. This was back when I was learning the credit spread, so I followed Harry into this one, mRNA, and then it tanked on some random news that came out, or it just tanked because it's mRNA, and then within like 4 days, because I held it 4 days, it mooned, and I sold right at the top. That was pretty sweet. Made some good profit. You can see like right up there. Look at this exit. Nailed that. That's luck, by the way. There's no TA here. There's a little bit of TA, but but I sold before the hammer, so it's not even TA. It's just luck. Netflix, made a good chunk on that. This was a trade I took. This is where I was starting to size up, and this is where I started to run into some problems, I think. I put $20,000 worth of shares. I have $20,000 account, so I put the entire account worth into this trade. Now, of course, I have margin, right? So this wasn't eating up all my buying power. But I really like this kind of breakout. I mean, I had just nice buying, a little dip, and then strength again. That to me, like, I don't hate that I leveraged into this trade. The walkaway says that had I held any differently, I would have made less money. So I probably nailed this exit. Oh yeah, look at that. So I get in over here on this pullback, and then take profit the next day. I mean, this is probably a picture perfect trade. This might be the best trade I made in the last 3 months. Was this Netflix trade? I mean, this is exactly what I want to do, right? VWAP bounce, not even touching VWAP, right? But bounces from there, and then take profit on the open the next day. And then Netflix didn't really hold that level for that long. It held it long enough, I think, for me to say that was a good trade, though. I like that trade. I should do more trades like that, but alas. Next trade on this day. I took a lot of trades on this LPTE, by the way. I mean, just for context, this was a crap day. This day is not a day to make money, but yet here I am making money. So, it's Micron again. I think this was a shares trade. I took it again on $20,000 worth of size. So I was heavily into this day, and the market probably told me I shouldn't be. This is kind of a lame trade here. I mean, this was pullback entry, add on the breakout, and then take profit pretty quickly here. I think, looking back on it, I would like to see me hold a trade like this. Even if I take like a loss on it, I think it's probably worth it. But it's such a strong move. I mean, it's hard to know. I don't hate this trade, so I'm not going to analyze it too much. It made me money. I didn't make any giant errors other than maybe being too large of a size in there. This is Microsoft. This is a credit spread. I don't want to analyze credit spreads because they're such a different type of trade. I just want to analyze the standard style of trades. This is ANET. I think this is the ANET for April 1st. So this trade, I put in $20,000. Again, I have a $20,000 account, and I'm putting in my entire account into this trade. I don't know how I've done that 3 times and didn't run out of buying power, but I somehow managed to put my entire trading account worth of margin into this day, which is ultimately not that good. And looking back, I mean, this D1 has problems. I'm not sure why I went so hard at this. I mean, this candle right here is clear resistance. We broke that level, and I got long here after we broke this kind of little mini pullback. But I'm not entirely sure why I went so long here. Looking at the M5, where did I even enter? There's an exit right here. Where did I enter? There's an exit here. I'm a little bit confused as to what happened here. Looking at the executions, not entirely sure what happened here, but I managed to lose $42. I'm gonna just move on to the next trade. I think that's a sinking issue. I had some sinking issues in April, so you're gonna see a few weird ones. All right, moving on. That's April 3rd. I'm gonna go ahead and say that last trade too with what trade was that? That was, I'm blanking already. I think that was, I forget. Anyways, moving on. All right, April 4th, made 672 on the account. This was a bearish trend day, very clear bearish trend day. I'm going to put that in, bearish trend day. I took a lot of trades. I took 8 trades that day. I think these NVIDIA trades are not accurate though. So I took 2 short and 4 long. I don't know why I went long so much. These might also be swing trades that I close, which is possible. AMD was a short I took. Looks like that was a swing trade credit spread actually. How did I make money on this credit spread when the stock went down in price? Unless I bought it like right here and sold up here. Or unless it had an expiry like around here. Weird. Anyways, I'm not analyzing credit spreads today, so next trade. We got DraftKings. This was a good trade. Although looking at the D1, and with my, now what I know, I don't know how good of a trade this ended up being, but worked out okay. Looks like a classic for me, M5 entry. All right, you get the pullback here. I was a little bit late to enter. I guess, I don't know. The market was also bearish the entire day. So, I mean, for me to enter here must have been a level that was worth entering at in terms. Well, I don't even see anything here on the M5 or probably on the D1 that warrants an entry. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this was a good trade in terms of the stats I'm keeping track of. The stock didn't keep moving in my favor though, so I'm gonna say I was wrong on a swing basis, but this was definitely just a day trade. So I think this, in terms of day trades, I feel pretty good, so I'm not going to dwell too long on this. Credit spread on Meta, we don't need to look at that. I think we already did. NVIDIA, okay, this is where I think I put $43,000 into this trade, and that to me just tells me I'm oversized, like for sure, 100%. I think on NVIDIA, yeah, look at this. I sold this breakout. I very rarely do this unless there's some sort of D1 event, and maybe I thought that like this was a level that we would break through. I don't actually know why I did what I did here. We're not even close to that level. I don't know what's going on here. a downtrending stock. I don't know what my justification is to short here. I think I shorted with put debit spreads, so thankfully I wasn't too stupid about it. I definitely think I got lucky here. I need a new tab. Got lucky. This was a good short though. I mean, ultimately the stock did continue over the next couple of days, so I'm gonna add that to my spreadsheet I'm keeping track of. Number of times the stock kept on moving. I'm at 4 for that, and then just keeping track of early exits. I don't think I exited early though. I think this was a decent exit. Just looking right here, there's definitely like some resistance here at 838, so I don't mind that. Spotify. It's good old Spotify. All right, looks like I entered after earnings. Nice little breakout there. Let's come down to the D1. D1 looks good. I'm okay with that. Breaking out. Looks like I entered at the high a day. Yep, that's definitely what I want to do. And then I sold before VWAP. I don't think I needed to sell this though. Especially I think the stock kept on moving higher. Yeah, they did. Next day. That's unfortunate. Made a move like another $15. I don't know why I sold this. How much was I into this for? 20 grand. That's probably why. Look at that. There it is. I was into that way too much. That's like, you know, very confident. A very confident size, which I can't say that that I should have been there. So I was definitely oversized there and exited incorrectly. All right. Next up, we got ANET here. I've seen ANET way too many times during this review, and I think a lot of it comes down to this put credit. Pardon me, these bullish put spreads that I put on, and then also I had shares on it for some reason. I'm just gonna ignore ANET because it's hurting my head. Netflix. I thought I just traded Netflix. Is this another trade on Netflix? Dang. No, this is the same trade. This is the same trade on Netflix. This is just because it's I executed the exit on this day. There's that Nvidia trade again. I got back in. I got back with 42 grand. Oh my god, that is dumb. That is. Okay, well, add that to the list of number of times I oversized. Okay, well, there's not a lot to say about this. I mean, it's the same. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Same chart. It's just, why am I in for 42 grand? That is so weird. I think I got tilted around here. I didn't get tilted early April. I got tilted like mid-April to probably mid to late May. So that probably is like a precursor to my tilt, was going into Nvidia with way too much size. Anyways, here's April 5th. I'm missing the SPY chart. Let me quickly add that in. 2024 April 5th chart. Quickly add that in. So this is April 5th. There we go. So this is off the bearish trend day. We had a bounce here in the market. And then, so I would say this is probably bullish. I wouldn't call it a trend day necessarily, but I'll call this a bullish day. And leave it at that. Looks like I took a lot of trades on a bullish trend day. I took mostly long, so that's good to see. Took one short. I think this short was a this was a WATAM. I ended up following somebody, and I think I followed Dave into this one just to dip my toes into this, and I took it with one contract. I don't know. I think I took it with one contract. I might have taken it with more, but either way, I took it with the smaller size that I was comfortable running it with, and so there's not a lot to say about this trade I followed. Okay. Oop. I think because the WATAM was closed. Anyways, ANET we looked at. ACGL we'll look at next. All right, ACGL looks like a nice breakout stock. Probably a break of like an H plus in here as well. So looking down at the M5, we don't have. Oh, we do have an M5 in here. Let me add a nicer one. Looks like I added once on a pullback, twice on a pullback. So I added on 2 pullbacks and then took profit. I really can't be too mad about that. Yeah, that's pretty nice entry and pretty nice exit. If it's just a day trade, then I would say $20,000 is too large of a size. That's definitely oversized. But otherwise, I'm pretty okay with that trade. Definitely did not continue. So mark that up. Meta $3 winner. I'm not going to analyze $3 winners unless there's something obtuse about the M5. I got in here and I got out there. I mean, fair enough. I don't know why I got out. There's definitely no reason to. And Meta, well, it didn't go anywhere afterwards, so I don't hate that, but not entirely sure. I'm in for $10,000 on this too. That's wild, but I understand the breakout. I think this hammer should be like a clue to wait for this level to break. That's clearly like a level, and there is volume behind this candle. So I would say the big thing on this one was just not. Yeah, I followed into this trade too. I keep a tag for any time I fall into a trade. I followed Dave into this. Dave. Well, Dave made me $3. I really shouldn't, can't say anything. I'm sure Dave made money on this trade. He probably wrote it all up and sold it at, the next day. But anyways, I did not. ANET, we've already looked at. GE. This is before they split. This was on a gap down. I actually like these trades. I think I did an Adobe trade like this at one point as well. Took it for $10,000. That's better size. Let's take a look at the charts. Just the 5-minute. Nice add on a pullback here. Really like that. And I exit for some reason. The thing didn't even break VWAP. Like what? That's such a bad exit. It's a terrible exit. Especially because the stock, like, look at this beautiful move. I mean, am I going to hold through this? Maybe not, right? It breaks this key bar. Maybe I'm out. Maybe I'm not. But at the very least, like, there's opportunities to take profit at higher levels here. Higher than 154, that's for damn sure. So, that's too bad. That's too bad. I think the sizing was okay, but, yeah. I'm going to add that to stocks that went my way and move on. Amazon. Yeah, this was, what was this? This was a nice, simple trade. $10,000 worth of size. Seems to be the new standard. I have scaled down since doing this experiment of oversizing trades. Because it didn't work. It worked in some ways. Like, I feel comfortable with size. I can take size now. I can put 20, 30, 40 grand to a trade, which is double my account size, and I don't really mind too much. If the trade thesis supports it, but I really need to be able to lean on the D1, and so if that would make the D1 not leanable, then I'm not comfortable with that size now. So that's kind of the big change I've made, and I think that's gonna be reinforced with this walkaway. All right, here's Amazon on the 5-minute. What is this? How do I enter here and exit like 5 seconds later? Like who did this trade? There's no way this was me, right? Like this isn't my account. I'm looking at someone else's account, right? That's sarcasm. That is ridiculous. I mean, this even if I made money on this trade, like what am I doing? Well, anyways, we'll add that to the list of stocks that we exited too early. And was I oversized on this? I don't think so. I think with 8 EMA, pardon me, the 15 EMA is support fairly close by, like $6 away. So I don't think it was oversized here. SM. Oof, that's a big loss. Yeah, I exited at the very top. This is a grinder stock. This is tragic, huh? Don't you hate when this happens? You enter a grinder, and then it stops grinding. Yeah. Were there any clues? Probably. I mean, there were probably clues in here. I don't know if I'm seeing them. Maybe this is just a type of stock I shouldn't enter in the first place. I think that's probably what this is. We can look at the entry. I bet you it's a high a day somewhere. Yeah, look at this. High a day entry. I got out for a little bit, and then I got out for more later on. I think actually I swing traded some of this. I did. So I exited some of it the same day, then I swing trade some more of it. I only entered with $7,000, so that's the sizing was not the problem here. And in any event, I was losing money no matter what. So that is a tragic trade. Next up is Tiva. I think we moved here to April 5th, by the way. These are April 5th trades. Glad to see another one who looks. I think that maybe. Yeah, well, that's how it goes. You can see the thing with trading too is like the margins are so fine. Like you can put together 9 good trades, but if you have one sloppy, oversized trade, it can wipe out the gains of like 8 of those, and then you're sitting with like a couple $100 of profit at the end of a week, and you're like, well, I can't pay my bills with that. This is Tiva. This is definitely one. I mean, this is a crap stock. So for me to put like more than half my account into it is just ridiculous. I better see the most beautiful entry of all time here. I entered it up here. Oh my god. I entered it up here. I don't see the pullback. I'm sure there was a pullback I entered on. And then it just decides to just completely sell off. And I sell at the open here. Looking at the D1 after I sold, I mean, this is fine. It just sold off afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's a tragic trade. And probably I was oversized here because I shouldn't be taking such a large loss. Like, but then again, like, if you enter here, where else? Like, selling there is not even that bad, you know? Anyways, crap stock. So all I'm going to say about that is that's a crap stock, but I was wrong about it on a longer term basis. And so far, I was right 7 times. The stock continued. Twice it stayed flat, and 6 I was wrong. So far, my hypothesis is not holding up. That I pick good stocks that continue on. I just need to lean on them. This is Oracle. This is a short I took. This is the WATM, I think. I ended up making money on it because I got out. Anyways, I think I got out pretty early, and then I wrote the short put down, which is not what Dave did, which means I was wrong. But anyways, moving on to April 6th. That's March 6th. Let's go to April 6th, please. Oh, April 6th is not a date. April 8th. April 8th, we got this was April 6th here. This is April 8th, I think. Yes, April 8th. April 8th looked like a pretty choppy, low probability trading environment. So we'll put that in. And it looks like this was the day I took more of my SM off. This was the day I took more Tiva off. So PNC, that was a new trade. Take a look at that. PNC was a long I took at 15 grand of size. So just lots of oversizing going on. I think like I was experimenting with oversizing, so I don't consider it an outright mistake, but definitely is something to note. Like, hey, I was sized like this, and I didn't lean on the D1 enough. Ended up making a little bit of money on this trade. Walkaway analysis says, had I held, I would have made even more. So pretty common theme. 5-minute charts over here. It looks like I bought on a pullback. I really do like this entry. Look at this stack, stack, stack. I love this. And then the compression. Sometimes you'll get a pullback to VWAP. Those are less good. In my experience, the compressions are much better. It's to buy early on in the day, and then later on in the day, then the stock can dip more. I'm okay with that. And I got in. So I actually really like this. I got in, I got out, I got in, I got out. I actually don't have a problem with this trade, other than I don't think I should have got out here. I think probably I need to lean on VWAP, just generally speaking. If we're trading VWAP bounces, I should probably lean on VWAP. That would be smart. Let's go back up here. Here we go. The D1 also was pretty decent, but it ended up selling off pretty harshly. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's a trade I got lucky on that I got out. Because I can't say I'm going to lean on the D1. I'm going to lean on the D1. And then I show a trade where if I lean on the D1, I would have actually had like way more profit had I held till the next day. And actually, this is a pretty decent profit take. So actually, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was right on this trade, and it would have continued. But in any way, it still sold off. So not what you want to see. All right, Dexcom. This is a long I took. This is probably not the greatest D1 to go long on in hindsight. What do you think about volume on crowd? Not sure that means. Are you talking to me? We'll talk about crowd later. Let's just stick to walkaway. I'm answering your question in the Discord. All right. So Dexcom, I don't know why I went along on this. I mean, I do know why, but like I've changed my entry criteria for a long like this. I won't go long on stocks like this. This is like a nice engulf, not almost, of the of this red candle, right? And so to me, that's like it's a reversal signal, right? So hey, let's get in. I'm not sure that's the best way to go about it, and so I've cut that behavior out since then. Stock I got in near the end of the day, and then kind of sold off here. I'm not going to count this as a win or a loss. Realistically, this is just a choppy stock. I really shouldn't be in this anyway. So only took it for $10,000 of size, so it wasn't even a mistake there. That's just an unfortunate loss. Okay. All right, and that's all I took on the 8th. Moving on to April 9th. We made some good money on April 9th. Because oh yeah, no, I remember this day. This is the day I started to tilt. I got lucky with this though. That's the problem. That's the worst thing that can happen to you is you get lucky when you tilt. Because what ended up happening here was I took it with too large of a size, and then I realized, oh, I made a lot of money doing that. That felt good. You know, there's some endorphins going off. And then I did it again, and I made money again. And anyways, I think I probably made more money than I lost with Nvidia. Actually, is the funny part, gambling with it. But it actually set me up really poorly for trades going forward. So I don't think it's. We'll just take a look at it. I don't think it's something to be really proud of at all. I think I got into this. It says I got into this on April 4th. But that's wrong. I got into this on this day, and yeah, you can see the chart up here. It says April 9th. So this was this day that I took the trade. We've already looked at this. I'm not gonna look at it again, but the gambling mentality, it's crazy how pervasive it can be in your trading. Once you do it a few times, it definitely is something. And I'm not even saying in terms of like, oh, the market's going down, I'm gonna enter a long. That's not. I don't mean that. I mean just with pure size. It is remarkable when you see the numbers that your account can do if you just really like lean into a trade. It's remarkable. I'm gonna skip all the credit spreads here. I don't feel like reviewing credit spreads. I take a lot of credit spread. That's probably, I would say, half of the longs I took between February and April were credit spreads, and that's just because that's what I felt comfortable. The BPs were very good. They allowed you to lean on the D1. In fact, probably the reason why I had such a good January to March was because I took so many credit spreads, and they allowed me to lean on the D1. April 9th looks like a pretty dead day. So go to April 10th. April 10th. I have to add this chart each time. That's so annoying. We're gonna go boom, boom, boom. All right. Generate. Let's see what kind of day SPY gave us on the 10th. Looks like we got a gap down. This was the previous day, so the previous day was very bearish and then bouncy, so very LPTE. Next day was a gap down into LPTE, so 2 days of LPTE here in April. What kind of trades did we do? We had a long and 3 shorts. Anyways, take a look at this. I think this one I entered on April 8th. This is when I entered on the 10th. This is AMD. AMD, nice short here, actually. I like this. Took it with $16,000 of size, so I can almost guarantee that whatever. That's just too much size. Like, looking back, I know that. So I can almost guarantee my exit's going to be crap. I'm sure the entry was fantastic. Yeah, look at that. Nice entry. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but anyways. Nice entry on a pullback. So, I mean, there was one entry up here probably. And then there's probably another entry right here. I could have taken the first entry. Probably should have. Generally speaking, I like these really strong momentum plays into a VWAP bounce, but alas, I did not take it. Got this breakout instead, and then took profits pretty quickly. I don't necessarily hate that, especially because it bounced afterwards. So there you go, like hindsight 2020. But I mean, look at this nice bearish trend. I could have leaned on the 15 EMA, and I could have like wrote it all the way down here to this 145 level. Even if I wait up here, it's still 158, which is still better than 164. So definitely one I was correct on and probably oversized on. I don't think I exited poorly on this one, so I'm gonna move on to the next trade. Monster MNST. This is a nice short. Why did I lose money on this? Such a nice D1. All right. $8,000 of size. I was not oversized. Coming down to the M5. I entered on the low a day off of bounce. That's fine. Went up to VWAP. See, so I held through VWAP here, so clearly I'm able to do it. And then I took profit up here. Why? Like, why would I do that? I mean, was there resistance here? There was resistance at around 54.85. I closed out at 54.40. So maybe I thought that this resistance was going to hold. But then why would I enter here? Like 38. No. I guess I thought this was going to break. And the fact that it pulled back was probably enough for me to think that my trade was invalidated. But clearly not. I mean, it didn't even get over the open. So I'm going to go ahead and say that was a poor exit. And that ultimately the stock did move in my direction. So. Alright, next trade. That's all we got on the 10th. Moving on to the 11th. Add this and boom, 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 boom. Okay, so on the 11th, looks like I took a few trades. Took 4 trades. This was the day before, LPTE chop, April 11th. Nice test of the downside, and then a beautiful bullish trend day. This is the exact type of trend day that we should be waiting for before we go heavily into longs. Looks like I took barely any trades though, so that's great. It's good to know that on the LPTE I can enter with size, but then when we get a trend day, no trades. I took BA here as a short. I took it with $6,000 of size, and this was actually a nice short that I somehow managed to lose money on, which is becoming a little bit of a theme. If I just held it till end of day, I would have made money. If I held it for 2 days, I would have made like a lot more money. Enter on the low a day, bounce through VWAP. I mean, I understand exiting here. I don't think it's terrible if it's a day trade, and maybe I don't trust Boeing overnight. That's fair, but I still think that like this is a nice grinder trade. You gotta trust the trend. I'm gonna go ahead and say that was a poor exit. And I think that's all I'll say about Boeing. I don't think there's much more to say about that. All right, TCOM. This is another trade on the 11th. I went long TCOM. TCOM was such a good stock for so long. I remember trading this like all the way down here in February. It was in a compression here. I guess I thought it was gonna break the compression. Did it break the compression? I mean, eventually it did, but not before testing the 15 EMA. And this is what I'm noticing is the 15 EMA is actually a fantastic place to set your to size for, because if you think about it, the day you put the trade in, if you're using the 15 EMA as your stop, and it's like say it's a long, right? Well, theoretically, you should be in a stock that's trending. Now, if you're trading a reversal, like post earnings play, okay, fine, whatever. But if you're talking about a grinding kind of stock like this, then the 15 EMA should be sloping up, which means the longer you can hold the trade for, the less of a loss you'll take. So even if you're wrong on this day and it comes back down to $48 from $50 entry and you're down like 4%, 5%, it shouldn't matter, because as long as you size for that, that's a loss. You say you're willing to take $150 loss on that and you size for that. Well, by the time you end up having to take the loss, assuming you have a strong stock, it doesn't just instantly screw off, which definitely happens, but it happens so rarely that I don't know if that's really a threat, that you won't even take the full loss, right? So anyways, TCOM, I'm going to go ahead and say this must be a mistake. Like, there's no way I can enter here. I mean, it has to be a mistake because look at this. I exit like 5 seconds later. Like, what is that? There must have been something I saw in the market. But even then, like, isn't it painful to look at your entry here, $50, and have it just blast up to 50.25, be up like, 0.5% of the trade? That's infuriating. That is definitely a stock that ultimately went in the direction I wanted. I'm going to say that was flat, actually. But I definitely exited like an idiot. So that's going to be added to that. And just for those who are popping into the stream, I'm keeping track of number of times the stock moved in my direction that I was trading in, number of times it stayed flat, and then the number of times I was wrong. I'm going to use this data for my walkaway to reinforce if I should be leaning on D1s more or less. And I'm also keeping track the number of times I exited like an idiot or just incorrectly, and the number of times I was oversized. And then I'll have a total number of stocks that we'll look at over here at the end. All right, Rivian short, nice breakout of this $10 level. It's a pretty cheap stock. I only put $5,000 into it, so I'm really happy to see that I didn't leverage too hard into it. Holy smokes, though. I mean, if I just held this stock for a little while, look at that. I made $59. I would have made like $641 if I just held it for like another day or two. Rivian's a scary stock, though. I mean, I was in and out of this trade. This was a scalp. But I really could have leaned on the D1. So I'm not going to say it's a mistake with the exit because it's Rivian, but I'm going to say that I was right in terms of the bearish nature of this breakout. All right. Oops, we already looked at TCOM. Marvel was a credit spread, I think. No, this was a straight up short. Let me take a look at this. I shorted this? No, this is a credit spread. All right. Next day is the 12th. If you guys want to say anything in the chat, feel free. I'm just going to go through these like I would go through these if no one was watching. So, I do like weekly analysis, like walkaway and monthly walkaway. So I kind of already know, like these are stocks I haven't looked at in 2 months probably, but I kind of already know the trends and stuff. But just trying to put it into context of what I know now, I always try to like look at stocks, old charts, at least 3 months back, and combine it with what I know now and my current way of trading, just to see if I would have done anything differently or if I should have done anything differently. Looks like April 12th we had a bearish trend day, so we had the bullish trend day, then a bearish trend day. So I will say bearish trend day. Again, I'm not worrying about the SPY D1, not because it doesn't matter. It does matter. Just because I think if you follow the stock, if you follow the market every single day like we're going to here, the D1 matters a little bit less in terms of looking at it each and every time. But I can definitely bring it up every like couple weeks in terms of the walkaway stuff. Just so we're, in fact, I can even just bring it up right now. I'll just bring it up right now. Let's bring up SPY real quick. So SPY back then was doing this stuff, right? This was back. So all this trade journal stuff has been when SPY was downtrending. Looks like here, and it didn't really start uptrending until the 22nd. So, all right. So, in that context, I took another short here on Adobe. I made $18 on it, even though I put $10,000 worth of stock into there, so I can guarantee it's another one of those wimpy exits. This wasn't actually too bad. So this was selling the momentum, pullback, sold the pullback. I had 3 entries and somehow only made that much money. That's wild. Only us crazy people looking at charts on a Saturday night. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I would say that Adobe is a kind of stock where I should just lean the D1 here, because this is the breakout, right? It's a breakout of this, what is this, 484 level down to 477, this region right here. And like, you gotta, like, did it even move the stupid arrow? It didn't even, like, it just retested that level and then moved back down. Like, there was no reason to sell. Like, it never invalidated the breakout. It never like moved back above it, right? With any sort of conviction. I think it got up to 475, which is like $2 maybe above that level, right? Oh, it's actually still below it. 475 is actually not even still below it. So there's no reason to sell this. In fact, I should just use this breakout as my stop. And like a stock like this, or pardon me, a trade like that, you can really size into, because if your stop is right there, then you can just size as much as you want, because your stop's right there. It's not like it's 5% away. It's like 2% away. And I could have rolled this all the way down to like 465 had I played it right. But even if I held it until the next day, right, I would have made money. 469. So I think the big lesson on this stock is just, if you have like that much conviction in the breakout to enter 3 times, maybe you should lean on the D1 more than you were. So it's going to be the theme of this walkaway, I suspect. Next stock. Oh, I only took 1 stock on this bearish trend day. At least I took a stock in the direction of the trend. At least we did that. All right. 13th that did not trade. Looks like 14th that did not trade. I also have to balance work, so sometimes I don't trade some days. So those are 2 of those days. This is the 15th of April. This is a Monday. This is still while the market's downtrending. You can see a little gap up. This is a perfect setup for the market. Gap up against the trend and then sell off. Another bearish trend day. I'm pained to see that I lost money on that trend day. In fact, I'm even more pained when I see that my biggest loss was a freaking short. How do I short on a trend day and lose money? Well, we'll find out. Size $7,000, so that's good. It was not oversized in this trade. This is a nice breakdown here. Probably some sort of news. So probably don't want to hold this for too long. Oh, what the hell? Alright, so it looks like I sold a breakout or breakdown. And I took it off a VWAP. That's weird. Why did I do that? Well, that's tragic, because that stock just broke down after that. This would have been a huge winner. In fact, yeah, look at that. This would have been, on day 4, this would have been a $719 winner. Day 4 is probably right around here. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. how much money I left on the table on this like one trade, but not even just one trade, just in general, how much I'm leaving on the table. Yeah. All right. Well, another one that I was right on, and that I exited incorrectly. So, moving on. Annaly Capital, NLY. This is the pain in the butt stock. I went short on this. How did I lose? Like, how do you? If when you look at this D1, you gotta think like, how did I lose money on this? This is a nice breakdown of this $18 level. Looks like I entered at 18.21. I closed it at 18.17. I got in for $6,000 worth of shares, so 700 shares. And nice pullback entry. And then I like, why? Why? It was about to go. Stock made another like 30-cent move on an $18 stock. That's a nice profit. Even if I waited like till the end of the day, I would have made like 5 times what I made on it. It's ridiculous. It looks like I actually continued the next day too. Definitely exited incorrectly. Workday. This is another day trady lucky stock. Yeah, I entered with $15,000 worth of size, so quite a bit of size. This was definitely right on the trend. So this was definitely one I could have leaned into. I've also like been thinking about just, well, I'm thinking out loud, like having two trades in a single trade, right? So I have one trade which is sized for the 8 EMA and one trade which is sized for the 15 EMA. And like for these grinder types, not for like just anything, but like this, like it's a nice grinder, right? That's a pullback breakdown of this, what is this 262 level. And then that way, like, okay, say like you get a close above the 8 EMA, so like over here maybe. Well, you would exit at the same time here, but the point is you so much room to ride these down. This is a nice almost gap fill. It's just sometimes I look at these stocks and I think, what if I just wrote that down like a normal person? Look at my walkaway; it's all green. That tells you that you really screwed up the exit. All right, let's go look at this exit. Nice entry. I would have liked to enter a little bit sooner, but probably my alert went off and then I was away from my computer, so I ended up entering way late. But stocks like this with these like really nice breakouts of these like longer term levels, this would have been the 262 level. They're worth entering, especially when they got volume like this. Like, look at that volume. It's really nice. And then I take a profit off before the end of the day. So, yeah, just not a great exit. Glad I made money on it at least. We've been looking at some of these stocks, and I managed to lose money, despite getting the direction right and the market right, and the the D1 and the M5 right. I've got everything right, but still managed to lose money. The real lesson on trade management. I don't know what the hell this entry is on AMAT. This better be like a credit spread. It was a credit spread. I think this was one of the credit spreads that was on one of the live streams. Anyways, I only made $27 on it. I think I only was in this trade for 3 hours, so I must have done something weird with this one. I think I legged out. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I legged out. Huh. Yeah. So this was the credit spread. I took it over here, and then it died, and then died again, and I legged out over here, I think. And I bought it back over here to salvage the spread. So I do that every now and then. If I see a lot of selling pressure, and so then I'll leg out. This probably was not a spread to be even anyway. Like under my current rules, I wouldn't take this. So, especially because I don't know what strikes I took. I took 195, 200. Actually, this was doable because I had the SMA here. I need the SMA. It's like my #1 rule for credit spreads. Always have an SMA. Okay, next up is Marvel. I don't want to look at Marvel. I think we already looked at Marvel. This is one of those weird. Yeah. And then we were on the 12th. That's Adobe. And then we went to the 15th. All right. Okay. And then we're on the 16th now. Okay. 16th. Oh my God. This is a nice trend day. Nice bearish trend day. Somehow lost money. A lot of money. Oh man. Okay. So SM, that was an old trade. AMT, that's a new trade, I think. AMT. Oh yeah. Oh, actually no. I already looked at AMT. I already looked at this. Was a swing. AEP. I shorted this. Oh yeah. This is one of the rare times where like you're just wrong. Like it just instantly reverses, but it happens so rarely that it's not worth. It's like, also I didn't even exit good. Like I exit at VWAP. At least let it have a chance to bounce off of it. What was my size? I was not oversized. I just exited poorly, and I was wrong on the stock. So double whammy. Hawaiian Electric. Oh, I remember this. This is you're gonna see a very tragic M5 here. This is probably the most tragic M5 of the last 3 months. So this is after the Hawaii fire, and actually no, this was after. This is the Hawaii fire, I think, and then it just compressed. There was some sort of news here. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, I got him with 20 grand worth of shares, and I actually think this was the kind of trade to do that with. This is the tragedy. Look at this. So I get in, bounces off whatever, the ADMA, then it starts to break down. So I get in again, and then I add to the trade, and then I take profit. And then it sells off $1 and like 20 cents. $1.20. I was in for like 4,000 shares. I would have made all of the profit that I made between January 1st and today in that one trade if I just rode it out. And of course, you're not going to get the perfect exit, but like the point is I done goofed. But I still made $200 on that trade, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with profit, but man, what could have been? All right, let's look at a terrible trade. Oscar. I lost $300. So everything I made on Hawaiian Electric, I lost on freaking Oscar. I went long on this stock. How do I lose money on this? All right, like truly is remarkable. Truly remarkable. Okay. So, oh yeah, look at this. Enter, sell. Nowhere near VWAP. Didn't break this 1550 level, but sold anyway. And had I held it till the next day, I would have lost money. But the next day after that, I would have made a lot of money. So that's Oscar for you. Not a great entry, but there's no reason to sell here. I mean, I'm oversized. That's all it is. It's oversized. So bump that up. There's a spreadsheet for the, what we're keeping track of. I'm right 17 times. I've been wrong 7 times. So that's telling me it's good information. It's good information. All right, that's all I took on this day. So on this bearish trend day, I managed to lose money with Oscar. SM we already looked at. And Hawaiian Electric is what saved the day from being totally embarrassing. 17th of April, nice trend day. I'm going to call this a bearish trend day despite this bounce. Because there's enough day trading potential here for me to call it a bearish trend day. Now, in hindsight, is it a bearish trend day? No, but once this bounce happens, I'm not trading anymore, right? And this is still when the market's just selling off, right? So once I get this bounce, I'm leaving this alone. Although by end of day, all that gets reversed anyway. So, but then I'm dealing with swing trades. Looks like I took Google. We'll just stay out here for Google. Google looks like I took that with some shares. No, I'm gonna need to click to get the size. Took with $10,000 worth of shares. This was a end of day swing that I took long. What? I took this long? Why? Look at this entry. Wait, what? What is going on here? I think I mischarted this or something, because this is not an end of day swing. This is. I must have thought that Google was going to go with SPY, and then SPY didn't go. I guess I was picking a bottom. Oof. Getting caught bottom picking. That's embarrassing. Anyways, next up, April 18th was my birthday. Remember when... Oh, yeah, I remember this trade. Oscar gave me a great birthday gift. I made my money back on it, which is a terrible mindset, by the way, for the record. I put in 90 grand, guys. Oh, my God. Oh, why did I do that? I gambled. Like, this is... I think I did this one time. I think this is the only time I did this. And I think this was a misexecution. Now that I remember this trade, I think I want to put in like 9,000 USD, and I think I put 90 grand in. On, well, how quick did I exit? Oh, no, this isn't a. Look how many entries this is. Why did I do this? What? Wow. I made like a shit ton of money on it, but that's luck. That's a bad trade. That is a bad trade right there. That is a bad trade. EO greater than rider. I don't know what that means. That is oversized up the wazoo. All right, moving on. Wells Fargo. We put $7,000 into this. Beautiful breakout. This is what you want to see, right? Now you think like, yeah, you're gonna ride this D1, right? Nope, we're not. We don't ride D1s here. We don't like money, so we don't ride D1s. Look at this. Entry, exit. Why? Why? Oh my God. All right. So we're going to put our first journal entry in. Always at least use VWAP as a stop. That's like the first thing we're learning. And second is use 15 EMA as a stop when sloping in direction of trend. I feel like this is Ryder. What kind of name do you have, Ryder, on YouTube? You should be. I'm just kidding. Good to see you, buddy. We're just doing trade review here. Doing walkaway. Doing it live because why not? I wish I saw other people do it live when I first started. See what they do with their journal. See what they're going through. So hopefully this helps somebody. Won't help you. You're already good at walkaway, but it'll help somebody. Let's look at meta. How did I lose oh God. Okay, I went short. I thought I went long on this D1. That would have been tragic. Okay. Well, how did I lose money on this then? This is a great D1 to short. Oh, this was before earnings though, so I didn't have that much time. I'll give myself the great. Oh no, not again. Not exiting before it breaks VWAP. To say it isn't so. Like I'm at a point in my trading where I would have rather have seen me take a bigger loss. Wait, no. I shorted this? Oh, I went long on this. No, I went long on this. I went long. I did it. This is a debit spread. Yeah. I can't even say the name without like cracking a smile. Apparently the guy plays video games though, so that honestly it doesn't surprise me. I appreciate that donut. Trust me, bro. There. Somehow, throughout all of this, I have made some money. But let me just tell you, I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how. In the last month or two, I've done like May was pretty decent for me. I had one really bad week. The week actually, funny enough, the week I got married, I had a terrible week. I was just not paying attention, and I let a lot of trades go by the wayside. But apart from that, I actually had a pretty decent May and pretty decent June so far. But April, I just tilted, man. I tilted really bad, so. And I never really had the tilt that a lot of people go through when they're on paper. It never really happened to me on paper or in one share. But for some reason, and it didn't even happen to me after I what date am I looking at? This is 19th. It didn't even happen to me after I went live onto a large account. It happened like 4 months later. So it's kind of funny how it works. One way or another, you will learn the lessons. And you will go through the mindset challenges, and you'll have to come out of the other side. So, I remember going through this, and I wasn't having the thoughts of I need to come out and I need to better myself. I was just like trying to get through each day, but at the end of the month, I was like, okay, like this is not sustainable. What are we doing wrong here? And I found some solutions. This is another Oscar trade. What? Another Oscar trade? How many? Oh no, this is because I bought 10,764.1214 stocks. What? Or shares, pardon me. And because I had this fractional share, it ended up taking. Anyways, the point is, don't worry about it. It was like a fractional share I sold because I couldn't figure out how to sell it the same day. I had to email IB and say, how do I sell your stock that you gave me? All right, so moving on to the 20th. I didn't trade the 20th, didn't trade the 21st. Oh yeah, I took a break. That's what these days are, guys. So these were, oh wait, no. April 21st. This was not the break. I took the break. I think on the 26th or 27th, because I was just getting my ass kicked. Okay, so this is the 22nd of April. This is when the bounce started coming on SPY. So it's the 22nd. Oh, you guys can't see the date. There we go. You guys still can't see the date. Hello, TradingView? How large are you? All right, 22nd is right here. So this is when we started to get our first little bit of a bounce on SPY, and we started moving higher. Got above this swing low here on the by the end of the month, and then we pulled back. So that's the context for the next few trades. I took COF. For whatever reason, it comes up 3 different times. I assure you, I didn't take COF 3 times. It's probably just an execution error. This is more like it. I took a few trades like this. They were this pattern. Okay, like lower, 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 and then higher, higher, higher. And this is a pullback. And this is a break of this level. I always like to wait for a break of the level of the last like major red candle. But somehow I didn't lean on this D1. Look at this. Beautiful entry. And then exit like 5 bars later. What? 5 bars later? That's not possible. There's no way I did that. But I did. End of day analysis says I would have made $100 on that. End of day plus 2 analysis says I would have made $162 on it. Said I made $25. Tragic. All right. Well, were we oversized? $15,000 worth of shares. I'm gonna say that's oversized. Yeah. It's a financial stock, so you're not gonna get like rug pulled too hard on those kinds of stocks, right? Like they're very stable, grindy kind of stocks, but they're gonna have some D1 kind of volatility in terms of the range, right? Like this range is pretty large, 149 down to 135, so you can't size for that entire range, right? So, and when you're entering to the top of it, then it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna size for the whole range? Well, maybe you buy debit spreads there, like longer dated ones. That's not wiki approved, but it's something I could consider. In fact, actually, I did try that in June, so we'll see that when we get there. We're almost done April. April 23rd. Oh, I lost a lot of money that day. How did I lose money on this day? This is the bullish trend day. Bullish trend day. All right. How did I lose money? Please tell me these are swings that I was just closing. All right. This is the swing I took. Nope. This was a swing I took long. Why did I take this long? Like, this is garbage. Yes, it's a bounce off an SMA, and this is garbage. And these days, I tend to wait for the 15 and the 80 and made a break. So it looks like I bought the very tippity top. I averaged down, and then I sold before it broke VWAP. What? All right. Well, at least I was right. I mean, ultimately, I was right about this bounce. I just needed to give it time. I think this was earnings, so I mean, the most I was going to get out of there is like $77, maybe like a $2 gain. Actually, that's not true. I entered at 70. I could have got $7 on a $70. I could have got 10% on that stock if I leaned on it till earnings. But alas, we did not. Were we oversized? You bet your bottom dollar we were. We were way oversized. All right, next trade. Oops. Next trade. Spotify. Oh boy, Spotify. $400. What happened? This was earnings, I think. I think I was playing not earnings, but like the moment after earnings. Yeah, look at this. Boom, gap up, get off. So so this is why I played it. In my defense, this is a pretty like decent probability trade, because what you do is you get in on the break of what the hell? I want a line, please. You get in on the break of this level right here, right? And this didn't really break. I should have waited for confirmation, but even so, you get in right above here, and then you hold for VWAP, and then typically speaking, that setup makes me money. But for some reason, I didn't wait for confirmation through this trade, and then I got out because I was like, I didn't wait for confirmation. That's what I'm guessing happened here, because otherwise, I have no explanation. Because this would have made it this would have been a decent trade. This was like 315, I think. And I could have got on around 318 probably. So unfortunately, though, I ended up taking a $400 loss. I sized in for $20,000 shares. Like, why? Yeah, that's tragic. It's a true tragedy. And like, yeah, it's just a tragedy. Like, there's nothing I can say about this other than I should have set an alert at this level. I don't know if Spotify is even at this level anymore. I think it's a little bit higher right now, but anyways, yeah, this is a really dumb mistake, like truly dumb. But because not only is it a bad trade, if I just managed to trade properly, I would have made money. Like, it's one of those situations where you did everything possibly wrong. But alas, that's how it goes. App, I think I've already looked at app. Is this one of those I sold at the top? Oh, I got back into app. Oh no, I revenge traded it. Oh no. Please tell me I at least made money on this. I lost $20. Oh my god. Revenge traded. I gotta add like a ticker for that. Revenge traded. How many times? I don't revenge trade that often. I must have thought this was a decent bounce. That's the only thing I can think of. It was like, oh, look, it bounced here. I'll get back in. That's not really revenge trading. And then I got in. Oh, nope. I revenge traded it because I got in at $21,000 worth of size. I'm trying to make excuses for myself. Like, I'm trying to like cover for my, hey, you know, that guy, he wouldn't have done that. Here, nope, he did that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I revenge traded today. Or not today, this day. Look at this. I put $40,000 of size into Spotify. I was mad, bro. I was so mad. Look at this shit. I'm like, no, this is when I should have exited. I'm gonna enter. Oh no. Oh no. I even averaged down. And I lost another $300. Womp womp. And I bought Nvidia calls. I don't want to look at this day anymore. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next day. Yeah. Yep. April 23rd. A day to forget. A day to forget. All right, April 24th. Look at that. I made some money the next day. That's a good way to bounce back. I have a ticker called stupidity. Yeah, that's the only thing I trade these days. Stupidity. All right. Okay, we have our chart. When in doubt, just buy. And honestly, there were a few times in there were a few times where I'm just like, gotta go back to the well of Nvidia. Nothing else is paying me these days. All right, this was a bull trend day. I can laugh because I don't depend on this money for income, and I'm here to learn. And at this point, I was like 11 months into it. So I expect myself to make mistakes. It's just funny because I'm like, no way am I going to do that dumb shit. And then here I am doing that dumb shit. It's like, we truly are humans, and we're, you know, beasts of nature, and we're beholden to our instincts. And when we're in stressful situations, we default to them. And well, that's just the way it goes. CPRI, I took this short. I took it with 11,000 shares. I don't really mind that on a bearish. Sorry, this is a bullish trend day. What? This is not. Did I say bull trend day? This is a bull trend day. What am I doing going short? Why am I all my stocks short on the bull trend day? Well, okay. I mean, this is a decent freaking short. Let's scroll out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Is this a break of this level? No, it's not. So why am I shorting here? That's dumb. It bounced right off of it. Dumb. Dumb trade. Did I get lucky, though? Here's the thing. If you enter good, you can make money on bad trades. So this was a nice bounce. Look at that. One bounce off VWAP, enter. Second bounce off VWAP, enter. And then take profit? No. Ride it out a little bit. Let it at least break the low a day. If it bounced off VWAP twice. I don't know. I actually don't hate that. If it bounced off VWAP twice, maybe taking profits is fine. So, a new performance metric. My performance for spying calls for 2 weeks. I wouldn't do that. That's honestly, you're setting yourself up for real sadness if your performance metric is how did I do versus just buying Nvidia calls. I don't think most of us are outperforming Nvidia calls at this point, especially when you consider the fact that most people's accounts are not big enough to afford Nvidia calls and reasonably lean on the D1. So sometimes I'm good. I find myself shorting good already. Even if I have going long with trades, maybe. I mean, also this was April 23rd. So if I bring up the D1 for SPY, April 23rd was right in here. So this was still like a D1, bearish trend on SPY, and this could have been just a little pullback. So that's probably why I felt comfortable doing that. Anyways, I made money on this because I had a good entry, and ultimately it did continue in my direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a win. I'm not gonna say it's oversized. That's fine. All right, next trade. Wrong way. Humana. I hate this stock. Why have I traded this like twice in April? I traded it the first time down here, and then it's pulled back, and then it started doing this. I think there's probably an AV. In fact, can I put AV webs on? AV webs are in here somewhere, right, guys? Fix volume range profile, but no VWAPs, AV webs. That's crazy. Wow, there are no AV webs here. Anyways, I think there's an AV up here that it broke, which is why I entered this one. So, look at the entry. Entry was freaking good. Pullback, nice, and it took profit. You guys are probably like thinking he does the same thing over and over again. That's right. That's what we should be doing. It's just when it works, it's far more entertaining to watch instead of the same mistake. Look at this beautiful breakdown here. But there we go. Didn't do it. I'm gonna add that as a stock that I was right on, that I should have trusted myself, and I will say I was not even oversized there. I just exited incorrectly. Poor exit. All right, next stock. ABT Abbott Laboratories. I have a buddy of mine applying for this company. All right. What the? What? Why? What the? This is terrible. This might be. There's nothing worse than buying NVIDIA calls that you can't afford. But this is pretty terrible. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to go ahead and say, should have trusted the trend, because the trend was damn good. Should have sized this thing with the 15 EMA, like I was saying, and let it ride. But we didn't. So we took the loss. $13 loss is not enough for me to cry too much about. Although it's not about how much you lose, it's about how big the mistake you made was. I mean, if you made $200, but you could have made $2,000 by just holding for another 5 minutes. I mean, is that a mistake? I think so. April 25th. This was a Thursday. I took off. 26th. NVIDIA. Oh God, no more NVIDIA calls. All right, let's add the SPY, and then we'll look at these NVIDIA calls I took. I think these ones might have been real trades. Oh, what's the hell the date? This is the 26th. All right. April 26th. Generate custom chart. All right, 26 was another bullish. I mean, it was bullish. I wouldn't say this is a trend day because no, this was a bullish trend. I think for most of the day was a bullish trend day. I'm gonna call this bullish trend day. Bullish trend day. Not every bullish trend day has to be super strong. All right, we took these NVIDIA plays. Oh, please, God, let these not be shitty D1s. Oh, God. Okay, I think this was probably, give myself the benefit of the doubt, I think this was probably like a little break here. And I probably entered, please tell me I entered at 869. Thank God. Yes, I entered at 869. Okay. I was probably playing this algo break. This an algo break? No, it's not even an algo break. There's no volume. Whatever. I'm telling myself it's an algo break. Nice entry. Look at this. That's finally a good trade. Okay, sure I exited too early and I should have held because why am I exiting so quick? But that seems to be the trend of April. I was tilted in April, so at least I made money. And then ultimately the stock did go in my direction after that. So I was right about this trend line. So there you go. Always nice to be right. These are the NVIDIA calls. This might have been revenge trading. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yep. So I said, oh, why didn't I wait for this pullback? Why did I take profit? And now I'm back in, and then I sold instantly because there's words to describe what I was here. But I was oversized. That's what I can say about it. That's wild. This position is a call, and it cost me $13,000. Like, what the? What am I doing? All right. Oversized on that trade for sure. The first one I was not oversized on. That was a good trade. Second one, too big. All right. Next trade. Next day, pardon me. 27th, 28th. Are these weekends? Yeah, they're weekends. 29th. Oh, boys. Oh, God. Oh, so this is finally when I lose on NVIDIA. Up until now, I have won every single NVIDIA trade. Up until this one. So just for the record, I have gotten more luck than not. But that makes sense given the stock only goes up. And yeah, Ryder, I don't really have that excuse. So that's the thing. We'll go 26, 29. I don't have that excuse. I wasn't traveling. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think I sized up in April and I was focused on like not oversizing, but like using my account to the full potential. And that's where a lot of this came from. I was like putting more size into trades. I should have been taking more trades truthfully. We had such a nice trend. Like when we had this beautiful kind of downtrend, I should have been taking more trades, but I wasn't because I was like, oh, I'm waiting for the bounce. I'm gonna not get caught out like these dummies who are shorting, I'm gonna, and then it just, like, how do I not short this? I mean, I did, but how did I not really lead into the shorts and swing is remarkable. And then we got this little fake bounce, and then like, you mentioned some concerns with trading options. Want to go through it? Well, so these days I have less concerns about them. I would say, yeah. Oh, yeah. So my thing with trade options is I don't have the account size. So say I want to, I'll bring up a calculator here. Say I want to have like a $200 max risk on a stock, right? And say support is like 4% away, right? Well, for me to do that with options, with stock is very simple. Say the stock is $500 and I want to take a 5% loss at max. That means I can put 10 grand into the trade. Fair enough. But if I want to buy options on a $500 stock, right, times 100 stocks divided by times 0.8 delta maybe, that's 40 grand of size, which means the larger stock I can take to take the same amount of size is 500 divided by 4, right? So there's only so many stocks, and I've increased my size since then because I added to the account. The big thing is just not a lot of stocks I can do that with, and anytime I've noticed you get into stocks in like the $20 and below region, the liquidity is ass. You're dealing with stocks like Tiva and like shit like that. Like, I don't want to be trading that stuff. And so I find a lot of the best stocks, like, let's just go through the Meg 7 real quick. Do I have a Meg 7 watch? I do. Like, Apple, too expensive. Microsoft, too expensive. Google, I could trade that. Nvidia, now I can trade that. Meta, too expensive. Amazon, borderline. Okay, and then it's buying cues. Like, I can't. Oh, where's Netflix? Hello? Wait, is Netflix a Meg 7? Oh, whatever. I'm putting it there. I like Netflix. Netflix, too expensive, right? So I can't really trade these with trade options. So, and I'll get into this when I get to June, which, I don't expect anyone to watch till June. I might even just do like one more month and then call it a night. I've been trying like debit spreads. So what I'll do is, like, for example, say I was actually in a Netflix debit spread just recently. I think I entered somewhere. Okay, let's turn off all these freaking auto trend lines and chart pattern. Turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. I think I entered it somewhere in here, and I want to use like this level as support, and that's like $25 away. So I used a credit debit spread, and what ended up happening was I lost money on the trade because like this is the way they move, and then I bought some weird strikes and blah blah blah, and actually that happened with Lily as well. Lily, I was in it. Where was I in it? I think I was in it like here somewhere, and the next day it moved up to like 864. That's right. Yeah, no. I got it at 864, and I sold it at 877. It was a debit spread, and I lost money. I was like, are you kidding me? So if I had just done straight shares, I would have been like way better off. But so it's just things like that bother me. And that's definitely like on me to improve. Where is it? Here we go. Look at this. I got in at 864. Oh no, it's right back here. 864 was here. I think I got on one of these bounces here. I rode it up to here. I tried to get out over here. I can't get out at the top because it's debit spread. It takes forever to get out. And by the time I want to get out, it's like over here. It's still above my price, but because it's moved down so much, it's just the bid ask is wide, and it's just anyway. So that's that. Anyways, I won't dwell too long on that. All right, so April 29th, Cava. This was on a. Let's look at the SPY. Actually, I forgot what the SPY was doing on this. This was a crap day. This is crap. LPTE. They're actually, funny enough, now that we talk about how bad our Aprils were, there actually weren't that many LPTE days in April. There were mostly trend days in April. So it's kind of remarkable that April was a tough month for so many people. It looks like Donuts was also having problems in April. So looks like I went long on Cava here. I don't hate this long. I just think it's a little bit premature on a stock like Cava. Like healthcare. This is a healthcare stock, right? Healthcare stock didn't break this level yet. This 71.61 level. I was in a little bit early. Let's see my M5 entry. M5 entry, I mean, there's a little pullback here, and then just too early, and then I break a few up, and I'm out. I don't think I need to get out there, but I'm probably oversized. Yeah, I'm oversized on that trade. Definitely got the trend right. This was a nice stock that rode the 15 EMA up, but once again, this is a growing trend. Exited too soon, and we're oversized, so tragic. And then I think I took Nvidia. So this is my one Nvidia call. In fact, it was at this moment. It was at this moment that I realized, okay, I can't sustainably do this. I can size large into trades, but I can't reasonably expect to to take these NVIDIA calls and make money each time. This time, yeah, this is tragic. I got in on this breakout at this level, but like, I can't even justify these trades because NVIDIA is not this is not a long yet. This needs to confirm this algo break or a trend line break, and it did eventually. Right here, it confirmed it when it held this level, right here, and then maybe entry is like right here at 925, 935, and then you have, this is earnings, I think, right? Or is this a split? Anyways, it's just, I shouldn't be in that trade at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not gonna count that as an extra day of being right. That's the same trade. All right. I should listen to Pete once we got the big red. Yeah. So the funny thing is, I did listen to Pete, and I was actually fully in cash, and that's why going into April, my P&L was amazing, and I just lost it in April. Like, it just got cocky. Bunch of reasons why. Anyways, okay, we'll get into May here. So this is like, I did some analysis of my trades, so we're gonna see less really egregiously dumb shit now. We're gonna see more, proper trades. Anyways, all right, so this is SPY on this day. This is May 2nd. Take a quick look at SPY here. Let's bring it back up. SPY on May 2nd. Oh, this is a 5-minute. Okay. May 2nd is right here. Okay, so May 2nd was a test of support, and then a move higher, and then from here on we're in like bullish trend territory, or back in the bull trend. Any one of my swings, I'm looking at exit following day if they move me early in the day. You know what? If I even just did that, I would be far more in profit. Just end of day swings plus one day are extremely profitable. I mean, yeah, this is actually a nice trade. This is a Chinese stock, and I think there was some news on China on this day, something like that. Anyways, I got in on this. I wish all my trades were like this, minus this shitty freaking exit. Like, I wish pullback, enter, beautiful, 2 entries, no problem. And I wish I held, because these stocks can just go and go. And like, man, if I did this end of day, next day, say, I don't know, right here, 137 versus 136. So I mean, it's a whole $1 better if I just, held these at the end of the day. But even if despite that, it was still not a terrible trade. It was probably oversized though, which is probably why. I didn't really have a hope of holding it. Anytime you're oversized, it's like you can't really expect to stay in them for that long. All right, I feel like I've seen this stock too many times. Oh yeah, this was a nice short when I took it on the 30th, but it's less of a nice short now, because now it's at this support level. So I don't know why I'm shorting here, but I took it at a conservative size, so I can't really hate on that. Looks like I took it at the end of the day. These end of the days, I don't know what you guys think of these, but for me, VWAP bounces early in the day, far superior. When you get to the end of the day, like down here, they just fizzle out. And so like they either need to go, or they need to, or they'll F off. And so I think that's why I got out of this trade. I don't actually mind that, just because that's support. So probably more of an aggressive entry, trying to get some room to add. I'm gonna say I was wrong though on this, because ultimately it did go against me. And just for those keeping track at home, like me, 27 trades, I was right. The stock kept moving, and I exited too early or whatever. 3 times it stayed flat, and 9 times I was just straight up wrong. So far I'm picking very good D1s. Even in April, even when I had a terrible month, I picked really good D1s, and just couldn't figure it out. All right, May 3rd coming up. Or you missed it. I love about test or seeing arts early and getting in on the first drop. Yeah, that's definitely right. Like you get less of a move, and at that point it's almost like, am I just gonna swing this, and I'm trying to get a good entry for my swing, which is a different trade entirely to a VWAP trade. I took a lot of time off here. Maybe the market was closed though. No, I took a lot of time off in May. I had work in May. That's right. I had to work in May. Netflix, I did nothing on Netflix. That's just a misexecution. Okay, May 8th. Yeah, that's right. I had to take Monday, Tuesday off. All right, so May 8th, first day back after a little bit of time off. I took, well, first of all, let's look at May 8th on the SPY. So May 8th, yeah. So now we're firmly back in a bounce. I think Pete was calling for a bounce here. We gap down, and then we get a move higher, and then we retest and move higher. So I'm going to call this a bullish trend. I'm going to call this a bullish day. Just a bullish day. It's not necessarily trending bullish, but it's definitely a bullish day. And on this day, I put 4 longs on, and I just have lost money on all of them. So Let's figure out how the hell that happened. Size was good on this trade. This was this was back when Netflix had gapped down and it broke the SMA here. This is the 50, I believe. And I tried to get long. I think I swing traded this. Let's look on the M5 here. Oh yeah, so this was the end of day swing, and what? I just sold in the open. I mean, this is what Friday would have said you would have done, but actually I would have missed this entire move had I done that. And truthfully, there was no reason to sell here. It broke the SMA. It held it. It gapped down below it briefly. I took the loss there. That's wild. That's actually objectively stupid. It's objectively stupid thing to do here. It was right at support. I could have just held it. End of day says if I held that till the end of the next day, I would have made $70 to $100 on that, as well as losing 20. So that's an ouchie right there. Just because I nailed the trade and I nailed the direction too. Like, look at this, just beautiful move higher from there. That's too bad. Was I oversized? I wasn't even oversized, is the sad part. I don't even have an excuse of being oversized. I sized that perfectly. Shit. All right. Well, FRO. I hate this stock. I don't know why I ever trade this shit. I traded this long. What a beautiful trend. How do I lose money here? This thing just went up and I lost money on it. This is why trading is hard. Oh my god. Look at this entry. Holy crap. Why did I not enter on the VWAP bounce? Why did I wait for the... Anyways. Then why did I sell? So many questions I have. I want to go talk to this guy who made this trade. He's something else. Alright. I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I sized it well. The only mistake I made was I exited incorrectly. Otherwise, I picked the right stock, even though it's a crap stock. I hate this stock. It's just, to me, it's just so gappy. Look at this gap. It's like, look at this gap. Everything's a gap. Is it a Chinese stock? It better be a Chinese stock. The amount of gaps. At least it has an excuse of being a foreign market stock. And I think Netflix was piece picked that Sunday for a longer while it's compressing. Yeah, I definitely pay attention to piece picks, probably more than anyone else's, because I trade a lot like Pete, or at least I try to. Pete doesn't do dumb shit like this. But oh, look back in Meta. Look at that. Meta was also one of those gap down plays that bounced. I think I did Adobe on. I remember when Harry, I think, entered Adobe like a day after it gapped down after earnings. This was back in like April or May, and I followed into that trade too. Because I love the strength off that. Like, you get some wild moves down off earnings, off of like overreactions. But I don't like to get in before this confirmation. That's like my big thing. Okay. This was just a nice play in the gap. I got in with $20,000, so definitely oversized for a swing. And as a day trade, I mean, I can understand the entry here. I don't understand the exit, though. Exiting before VWAP. 2 entries is a little bit overkill, I think. Was I right, though? I mean, I was right. The stock did continue higher. Although I would have had to tolerate it all the way down to the freaking 100, which, to be fair, by the time I did test it was at 464. But if I sized for 464, it never even touched that. But why would I size for 464? That's actually only like 2 or 3% away. So should have swung traded this, and I was oversized for that. If I was at half the size, I would probably have been fine. That's the funny part, but really poor exit. Okay. ANET. Oh, ANET. Look, oh my god, I'm so early on this too. And I get the test of the 50 SMA. Alright, how did I lose money here? I was in it for, oh, was this a credit spread? Oh, this was a debit spread, I think. Bought the 295, sold the 300. Do you exit before CPI? Depends, but typically yes. I exit before most major news events. So I don't know what's going on here with ANET, but this is just sad. Yeah, exactly. I size down or exit as well. Yeah, you can't get the coin flip. The thing is, like, it's kind of like FOMC. At some point, people were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna swing all through it because I don't really care." You know, so it's a nothing burger. But the whole economy is based on these CPI reports, so it's kind of tough to have conviction not to do that. Anyways, ANET, I should have held this. Simple as that. Is this a Friday? If this is a Friday, then it makes sense at the debit spread, or a Thursday. Okay, this is Wednesday. There's no reason to sell that. But that stock did go in my direction, so I'm going to call that a win for the pick, but a loss for the trade management. Okay. May 9th. I lost $3 on May 9th. This was a nice bull trend day. I think we'll see. Some of these stocks, I think, it just the way they calculate their returns is a little bit weird until you click on them. So JPM, I went long on JPM. Look at this beautiful trade. Nice breakout of after earnings bounce. It's like someone said they knew it was going to turn the way. Yeah, exactly. You can't know how the CPI is going to go. You can kind of know like the jobs reports and stuff like that. Like Pete can infer that from the jobless claims or some of the data coming out from the economy, or about the economy. But you can't really infer the CPI necessarily. Anyways, okay, so JPM, even trade review. I mean, you gotta be critical in review. This is where we make our money, right? JPM, the entry was I'm gonna say it's a good entry, nice and early in the day, sure, but VWAP right there, yeah. I had this new rule. I use pivot points. So what day is it? This is May 9th. Throw in JPM. And let's go back to on the 5 minute. Actually, let's go over here. And let's go back to May 9th. And I'll show you what I mean. Basically, I won't exit a stock unless it breaks VWAP and it breaks. I can't go back to May 9th with pivot points. That's tragic. All right, no, won't waste your guys' time. I put pivot points on my chart. I like them on the M5 basis, and I won't sell a stock or exit now unless it breaks VWAP and a pivot, because oftentimes stocks will break VWAP and then they'll right back above it, and that annoys me. So now I have that rule and I size for it, and so be it. Sometimes I take less gains because it never gets anywhere close than that. Here I should have just stayed in the trade because I was in shares, $8,000 worth of them, so it was not oversized. I could have made a very nice move, but alas, we did not. And I exited poorly as well. I was not oversized, thankfully. Okay. Wayfair actually made money on this trade, so I made money on the day then, that means, unless the other trades were big losers. Wayfair, nice break of this level. This is not a D1 I would normally buy these days. I don't like this kind of chart because this is clearly in some sort of channel here, like this. And definitely like climaxed here. And then move back down. So not a trade I would have made with my current knowledge. Looks like I got in the day before. Why would I buy it here? What? When did I get into this? Oh, I got it in here. Okay. And I sold it. Oh, I averaged down. So I was in this trade for a few days. Looks like I averaged down on it for some reason, and then I got lucky the next day on a move higher. So that is not a good way to make money, but 3 executions and still only $7,000 of size is probably not oversized. So I actually don't know. Like, this is just a dumb trade. This is just like not a good trade from a like a TA standpoint. All right, MS, Morgan Stanley, not to be confused with multiple sclerosis. I mean, this is just a nice entry. I love this entry. I put in a good amount of size. This was probably... What is going on here? It's giving me some weird looking charts. Okay, there we go. So I entered here and here, and then I got out the next day at less than what my second entry was at, which means I lost... No, I made money on the trade, but just barely. I don't know why I got out of this trade, truthfully. Like, what level did it retest or break down through? This was a break of this level. It's maybe called $96, and the lowest it got was $97.54. So, not entirely sure why I got out of that, but add that to the poor exits. But sized well, at least. So, at least I got that going for me. Levi. So, Levi Jean Company. I was asked about this trade. It's so low volume. Yeah, but I like this breakout. Look at this 2250 level breakout. I got in at 2259. I didn't really waste time getting into this one. It broke my level. Look at that. Clean break. Minor retracement. So, of course, I add. And then, unfortunately, I should have probably taken profits up here, but I was like, I'm going to ride my trades now. I'm going to lean on the D1. And then I ended up taking like less profits down here. Why did I get out? All of American, but on the D1 you had you swung. Which ticker? Just because I've gone through so many. Oh, you mean on MS or sorry, let me go back here. Levi MS. All right. Yeah, it didn't you're right. Yeah, and realistically, I don't necessarily want to size for MS. I don't necessarily want to size for half a candle. I'd rather use a level on the D1, but there probably is a level somewhere around here. I find that these big breakouts, they're hard to size for because oftentimes you're dealing with an extended move, like from $96 all the way up to 98. It's tough to size for it. But again, that's why we have debit spreads, I feel like. This was on May 9th, which was a, May 9th. I need a calendar. There we go. Use one right here. May 9th was a Thursday. Yeah, so I could have done a debit spread on it. Anyways, how's it going, Phil? I'm just doing this walk away just for fun on the stream. Get some feedback. Show some people how I do it. Showing people why they shouldn't listen to me. I don't give out advice typically though, so that's my one saving grace. So this was a good day actually. It just doesn't show it on the P&L because some of these trades haven't synced up. So moving on. May 10th. Ooh, nice win. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's putting the profit on the day I took or it's putting the profit on the day I took the profit on. So Levi MS, we're winners. Shop, nice big winner here. Let's quickly get the SPY M5 here. I forgot the date. I'm having such a brain fart. I think this is like the 13th. Ah, fuck it. I'll look again. This is the 10th. Not even close. All right, SPY on the 10th. Boom. Generate charge. All right, SPY did a gap up. Let's look at the SPY over here again too. So SPY on a D1 basis on May 10th was, yep, this was just trending upwards. Good. This was a gap up in the direction of the new trend, and then a kind of a bearish trend day after that. I would call it just bearish. I wouldn't call it a trend day. There's not like consistent higher or lower lows and lower highs, right? But midday kind of bounced. Took a lot of profit here. We'll just look at a few of the trades that we haven't looked at yet. So this is shop. Oh god, here's an oversized trade. 30 grand into shop. Oh, but this is a beautiful breakdown though. This is post earnings. No bounce to speak of, like Netflix, Meta, Adobe all bounced. This one didn't bounce at all. Yeah, exactly. This is gonna turn. That's why I'm doing it as a stream. Otherwise, I would just be doing this in the privacy of VOD. This is all will be on YouTube theoretically, at least theoretically. Who knows? I've never streamed on YouTube before. This is a nice entry. Look at this, nice pullback entry. Bam, add, bam, take profit. I'm okay with that profit take given the size, but I could have rode the ADMA all the way down. Like, oof, that would have been a sick trade. And even then, like, I could have sold the next day and made way more money. So I'm gonna give myself a win for that, but I'm gonna say I was oversized and that I exited incorrectly. Otherwise, it's hard to be mad about a $200 win. And then this was another ad, I think, on Shop. $20 win. Same. It's the same play. Sedge, Solar. I hate trading Solar. This was a nice little breakdown, though. So a nice little comfort. Like, I like this. I actually waited for this one to break down and then break down again. Gapped up probably into the direction of my trade. And then it didn't really gap anywhere, actually. I took the trade over here off of VWAP bounce, and then I took profit right away. That's too bad. I'm giving a nice walk away. I'm like a few behind your video. Just heard you say how's it going. Oh yeah, yeah. There's some latency on the video. That's for sure. Okay. This was a good trade. I actually don't have a problem with this trade. And if I use the 15 EMA as a stop, like I was talking about, like man, you could just ride these trades. And like, there's no reason not to do that on a trade like this. Like, where's this stock going? Nowhere. It's going down. It's not going anywhere. Like, there's no reason to. It's already bounced off an SMA. It's confirmed its weakness. Like, damn. $33 could have been, like, more, right? It also could have been less, right? Because it also did pull back to the 15 EMA. So I would have to tolerate that drawdown, which is painful. Very painful. But I will say, ultimately, this was a correct and not necessarily oversized. All right. Palantir. Just before the recent earnings. Oh, my God. What did I... Oh, I shorted this. It's a little premature. That's a little premature. It's a nice bounce here. I made Wait, I made money on this? Oh yeah, look at that. I made money on this. Both shot, you could have gone straight calls. You think so? Let's check the stocks again. Sedge, I don't know if I would have done straight calls on Sedge. Well, I mean, I could have. Yeah, you're right. It's like a $45 stock. You're right. And then shop, yeah, I could have. Maybe I should start doing that, huh? Maybe I should start doing that. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. Puts. Like 34 stocks so far, I've been dead on, and 9 times I've been wrong. So far, what I'm learning is I should just buy straight options and hold them. I do like the defined nature of the risk of options. I do prefer debit spreads because I can really hone the risk down. Whereas with options, like straight options, it seems like the risk can be all over the place relative to the premium. It's definitely at least where it look. I agree. That much I can agree with. All right, May 10th. That was a good day. That was a good day for the account. May 12th did not trade. I worked during May, so you're gonna see a bunch of days. MSW, JPM. I think those are all stocks we looked at, but I'm gonna look at them real quick again in case. Boom. All right. Just in case these are new entries. We got 10 people in here. I'm shocked by that. Please select a symbol. Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like if I'm right 34 times and I'm wrong, or 34 times out of 43 times, then yeah, probably I probably made so much more than I did. MS, I think I already looked at this trade. I did. This was a trade I already looked at. This is a trade I didn't hold at all. JPM, is this the same trade? Did I swing all these? Oh, I didn't realize I swung all these. Look at that. I swung. Look at that. I actually swing traded something. Swing traded. All right. When did I enter this, though? I entered this on the 9th and the 10th. Oh, so some of these... No, that's not right. Anyways, okay, cool. So actually, I was swing trading this entire time. And that makes sense, given that SPY was doing this, right? So that's good. Even if you want to find a risk with a stop, that's 20%. Yeah. I think the tough part, too, with options is knowing what the price of the option will be when the stock hits a certain price, right? So if I'm using a level of support on the actual ticker, the D1 of the ticker, I don't necessarily know how that translates onto the stock. So that's kind of like a concern I have with options. Okay, so May 13th, another good day for the account. May 14th didn't trade. I don't think I traded the 15th. Yeah, I didn't trade. I'd worked this month. So, all right, May 16th. We're almost done, actually. We're only one more month left. May 16th, 15th, 16th. There we go. Generate chart. Just be only the entries, and then your stop is too tight. Anyways, tight-ish. I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about my trade so far, Phil, or are you saying just in general how you play options? Okay. What? Oh, this is a gap fill play, but I don't like this gap fill play at all in hindsight because look at this level of support right here at 118. I know it broke it, and maybe that's why I felt comfortable, but there's still like all these tails here. So I know I nailed this trade because I remember this one. I got in here, and I got out at the very top after a pullback. I like that trade, honestly. I like everything but the D1. I don't like this D1 for this trade because it's in a downtrend overall too. So it's like if you gap down and then you like this could easily just be a fake out and then drop. So not my favorite trade, but I sized it really well, and ultimately it did continue the direction of my trade. So I'm gonna call that a win for that, and then I'm gonna move on. I said alerts when this price gets to a set level on options. The other thing is there are conditional exits when a price stock ends limit order. Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't know you can do that. I don't really use stops in general, but good to know. All right, Sedge. Here's another short on this solar stock. Actually, look at this. This is right after. So I got in over here before, and then I waited for this pullback, but I could have just held the entire time too, right? To save myself a second entry. Or I could have just added here. This would have been like a nice continuation of that other trade. Okay, let's look at the M5. M5, this thing just fell off a freaking cliff. I only took like 50 cents of profit though. How much Did I size into this? I didn't size into this much at all. Was this a bearish trend day or something? It was. Yeah, this was a bearish day. So I was probably leading into that. And I'd probably use this long red candle as some sort of entry or exit signal. So I'm not going to analyze this trade too much. It was a decent day trade. Moving on to 17th. Sedge. I think this is the same. Oh, I swing traded it. That's what I did. Okay. Very good. I thought I exited. I'm going to look at that again. I could have swore I exited this trade. Why is this saying it's a swing trade now? Oh, because I had an exit over here as well. All right, let's go back to the executions. So I got into this on the 16th at 11:15, which is 2 hours before the close. See ya, Ryder. Thanks for stopping by. And then I sold on the open. Nope, I sold the next day at the same time. That's why it looks weird. Okay, fine. May 15th was a bull trend day that I missed. May 16th, full maybe because of that little. Yeah, fair enough. Let me check this by May 15th. Yeah, nice gap up, new high, held, and then May 16th, little hammer. I'm going to go sit in the bathtub. Have a good night. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Phil. It's good to see you, man. All right. May 16th we looked at. May 17th we looked at. May 18th we didn't trade. May 19th we didn't trade. May 20th was the weekend, I think. Yeah, it was. May 21st. May 21st was the day before this long red candle. No, it was 2 days before that. Right here. So sitting at all times highs. Let's see what we did. Let's add the chart in real quick. 21st, boom. All right, so 21st was chop. This is low probability trading environment. Couldn't do much here, so I didn't. I took one trade on IBM. Let's see, open trade. Here we go. So IBM sized well, $7,000, so that's good. IBM, I went long here, playing this breakout of the earnings candle. I do like this setup. Typically, it does make me money, and actually it did. I mean, if you look at, just from the price perspective. Got enough a pullback, bounced off VWAP, and I got out. Yeah, that's not a great exit. I probably should have held that. But then, again, like, do I exit then here when it doesn't close above VWAP? I don't know. I do not know. I'm going to go ahead and say this was a flat trade. I'm going to call it a flat trade because I can't realistically say I was right here. Was I oversized? No. Did I exit incorrectly? Probably. Yeah, I'm going to say I did. Shit. A lot of these are probably day trades in my mind when I took them, and now I'm saying they should be swing trades, which might be an error with my analysis. All right, we took a loss on C here. I think this was a swing trade that I just went wrong. Took a long here after spot was sitting on all times highs. This is not that strong. But actually, it was pretty strong. It didn't have that big of a dip. When did we go long? Where's the M5 for the entry? I don't actually see when I went long. 21st, 23rd. I must have went long in here somewhere. I just don't see where I went long. So that's too bad. Yeah, can't see it. All right, well, moving on. Either way, it was, I understand it's like a breakout kind of trade, and I don't hate it. Like, you win some, you lose some. That's the way I look at that trade. 22nd, no money made. 23rd, took a few trades. 23rd, this was the big red candle. Big red candle. I really hope I made money on this day. Because that's like, it feels like an easy day to trade. You just ride the trend. But we'll see. Create chart. So it says we lost $133, but I don't believe it because I think so I took my loss on C here. Maybe it'll show me the entry here. No, it shows me my exits though. I took an exit right there. All right. So this is when C got invalidated. I had a short on Nike, which I lost money. How do I lose money on a short? Because I took a crappy D1. I think there was like an L plus here, and I must have thought that was the trend line. Anyways. Not a good exit. Damn, that's terrible. I shorted here, and then it gapped up the next day. Big sad. Big sad. I shorted at the end of the day. Probably shouldn't short at the end of the day with a large red candle. That's probably a lesson there. I'm gonna write that down. Don't trade in the direction of large candles with the expectation of taking profit on the next day open. It seems like a trend I've noticed with these large candles. They don't continue, they have some resistance to deal with. Alright. DAR. Oh, this. So, yeah, DAR. Tragic DAR. This stock has gone on such a run, and I was in on it like when it first started its like real bearishness. It was in this compression for the longest time. There's an L plus right around here. I think right from down here. Okay. And it broke it, and it broke this horizontal level here as well. And so I thinking, oh yes, you know, there's a level here, and I'm gonna get in, and then I lose $137 because it retraces. So, because I'm shorting at the end of the day here, and then it gets up, it bounces off a VWAP, and I just think, I had enough, I'm gonna get out. I don't know what happened here. I was sized pretty aggressively for it, so that's fair. But man, this was a really solid setup to get into, and just sad to see it wasted. That's the main thing I would say. Ultimately, I was right on the stock, and I exited incorrectly. And I was probably oversized too. I'm gonna go ahead and say oversized for a stock like this. All right, Meta. This was a credit spread. We're not gonna bother with looking at credit spreads. GE. This was a nice trade. Based on the profit. Nice little pullback. I mean, pullbacks too, another thing I've noticed was that I really do notice that when the pullback is a little more elongated, and it gives time for these support and resistance levels to kind of flesh out, and then that way when you buy the breakout, or at least something akin to it, then you can make some nice money, because you can have more confidence. I size this well on M5 basis. There we go. M5 we got in the day before, actually. We added to it, and then we took nice profits near the higher day. That's nice. I've noticed that too. Yeah. I've noticed in general levels will retrace, like SMA breaks or horizontal line breaks somewhat, yes, but oftentimes they're the product of other kinds of breaks, if that makes any sense. So I definitely agree though. Like retesting is definitely something you need to watch out for. It happens quite often. GE, Dart, Nike, Meta. So these are all trades I took yesterday. I just swing traded them all. Probably because, I mean, the market was so weak after this, so I decided to just take the swing. But I probably should have taken profits in hindsight. Either way, it made nice money that day. I'm not going to look at the day when we didn't take any trades during it, though. And then I think that might be the end of May, because I got married here around end of May, beginning of June. So I was just busy with wedding stuff for the most part. So I think this might have been the last day I was in town. May 28th, 29th. I'm going to show the calendar real quick as well. So this is June. This is the week I got married. You can see, look at this loss I took, $713, $246. A lot of them were swing trades from like that were taken around here. But anyways, so this was rough, and then it got better. But so that's what we're dealing with when it comes to the end of May. Was very distracted trading. It's not an excuse. Don't think there can ever be excuses other than your P&L will tell you the truth. We'll put it like that. P&L don't lie. That's for damn sure. All right, looking at May 30th. And thank you. All right, we'll look at May 30th here. All right, so May 30th looked to be a nice gap down against the market. Let me see, May 30th. Yeah, gap down in the direction of this, like below this red candle. So that's significant. And then it retests the level and then it moves down. So this is a bearish trend day because I don't think you can really go long before then. And throughout the whole day, it's not like bulls ever were strong here. They were probably strong right here. And then it's just wimpy. And then nice selling volume. Volume picks up at the end here. So I took a short and two longs. Let's see what happened with that. ILMN. This is a nice little short. All-time low, potentially? No, not. But just a break into through this large green candle, I guess. Or is it below that? It's around that level. Sized really well. This is a... What? Oh, I see. It was day before. It was a swing trade. Came off this pullback, held through, and then took profit here. As we got into late May and early June, I started to swing trade a lot more and hold these trades for longer, which, for better or for worse, was, what happened. Ultimately, I got this trade wrong because the direction shifted, so that's unfortunate. But I'm glad to see that I sized it properly. I wasn't doing that $20,000, $40,000 size. This is $6,500. I'm a lot happier with that because I'm still making money. Like, there's it's still good, but it's just not the same ridiculousness. AI, this was, I think, a debit spread I took on AI. It's kind of a volatile stock, and it has quite a large ATR. So I bought in here, and then I sold it at the top here. I'm happy with that, honestly, so no complaints there. I'll add a win on the tracker, and then next trade was... Please go to the next table. ILMN, what was the other? GPS, I was in for another debit spread, potentially. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. And, I see this. Wait, what? Oh, this was a time spread. This is a time spread. I only made $6 on this. Dave made a lot more, because he played it better. And I sold at the wrong time. So, rip to my time spread. At least I didn't lose money. I've lost a lot of money on time spreads. I've also tried to leg out of them just to see what would happen. I don't recommend that. All right, May 31st, GPS, Marvel. All right. I think we'll just power through these last couple days, going into June. Well, and I'll do June as well. I didn't trade every day in June. I only traded 10 days in June, so I'll power through that, and then that'll be it. It's a pretty long stream. When did I start? 4:30? 4 o'clock? Something like that? Pacific Standard Time. Okay. So, May 31st. What's our SPY contact? Oh, yeah. We're moving back up. So, we tested. This is when the buyers end of day stepped in. There they are, end of day stepping in. So, I would say this is LPTE because there was no direction. I still took a bunch of trades and I lost a bunch of money. So... I don't mind losing money on days like this. These pivot days are hard to get on top of. Yeah, it was. They're hard days because, the market's reversing at these points. So I just short on. I had ACN as a short. It ended up not working out. I never got below my price again. Oh, it kind of did here, but and it gapped up over earnings. This was a swing trade. I don't hate that. Sized well. Took a decent sized loss. I'm going to go ahead and say I got the direction wrong. But at least that's the only thing that was wrong there. Square, sized well. I don't know what I'm shorting this for. Oh, down here. I don't know why I'm shorting this either. It's not a great short. Very choppy. Lots of overlap on these candles. Lots of retracements. Mixed candles. Not a strong trend. Even this is not that strong. Tons of retracements. Or wicks. So I'm not a fan of that. Look at the M5. The entry was on the 5th. So look at the 31st. So my entry was off of this bounce. I short into it. And then I take a loss on the 5th of June. A couple days later up here. I mean, ultimately, if I used a 15 EMA as a stop, I would have been fine. Would have made some good money. So... ultimately, I was right, and just didn't lean on the D1, which is fine. But that's why you lose money. Adobe, nice little breakdown here. I lost money on this. Oh, it hammered, didn't it? Yeah, look at this. I was in this. Oh, this is. Yeah, this is. I remember I was sitting down with the lady. We were watching something, because the market was not. I was not doing anything else. So I was talking about the wedding with the lady, and then. Next thing I know, I'm down on the trade. I'm not going to worry too much about something like that. That's just unfortunate. Marvel, this is a... What? This is a credit? No, these are calls. Why am I in? Oh, these are debit spreads, but what? They're like the same price. I think these are just straight calls I tried to get into, but I'm not. Oh, this must be no. This was a mistake. I remember this. This was a mistake or a lotto or something. Anyways, not worth looking at. I might have like accidentally executed a trade on that. I think that's probably what happened because I don't really do lottos. All right, June last month, June 3rd, June 4th. Okay, we get to June 4th. This is I'm currently traveling at this point. I'm trading on a laptop just to provide some context. All right, May and June, so June 4th. June 4th was, what the hell is going on here? Anyways, so June 4th was, I don't know, it's just decently bullish. Nice test of the downside, then I move higher. But I'm going to say it's LPTE based on these red candles at the end. So LPTE day, that's why I have a million stocks in play. ACM we took off already. We already talked about. CrowdStrike. We got onto a long here. Why did I go long here? This must be a mistake. Is this like a debit spread or something? 310s. What? This must have been a mistake. But how did I make $70 on it? Was this time spread? Oh yeah, it's a time spread. That's why. Okay, this is the time spread. So we won. Okay, Honeywell. $10,000 a size on this long here. Look at this big candle. We lost money on it. Get on a pullback at least? No, we chased. This is a chase entry. Never get into this late in the day. It's stupid. Don't chase late in the day. Every time I see myself get into stocks this late, it looks like it's a loss. And this was unfortunate, that big red candle. Must have hit some sort of resistance. Yeah, look at that horizontal level right here. I'll show it better here. Yeah. It's not that bad of a level, actually. Definitely exists, but it's not totally obvious. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's down here. Sorry, this level is obvious. This 210 level. I was looking at this bar up here. So yeah, that's a mistake in terms of TA. Should not be in that trade at all. Take two, 20 grand with the size. I'm like getting tilted or something. Oh, I see why. Okay, well. That's an aggressive entry if I ever saw one. Did I swing trade this? I might have. Look at this. Boom, boom, sold, and then back in. Couldn't make up my mind. I swing traded this entry and took profit quite high up. So actually this was a pretty decent trade. I think it's 20 grand of size over 5 executions. I don't think it was actually, yeah, look at that. Beautiful trade. Really well done. Gap fill, exit. Nice. I like this. This was a great trade. I don't think I used 20 grand with the size. I think I used much less than that. Okay. That's good. Next up, Las Vegas Sands. I remember this was a swing trade I tried to take. This was a pretty brutal one too, because it was actually a pretty decent breakdown. Like, this is decent. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it break down through this 44.02 level. Got in the 43.46, and I swing traded this, but it just got so. Oh yeah, I want to show you this. This was just ridiculous. Look at this shit. I got it over here because it was just strong, and it just ripped. Like, there must have been some sort of news or something on it. I got in off this late in the day pullback more as a swing trade, and other thing just ripped against me. Unfortunate. I'm gonna go times I was wrong. Add to those. PG Procter and Gamble. This was one I should have made more money on because I got it so right. Look at this, nice. But because I like exited and then entered, and I was very indecisive about it, I ended up not making very much money on this. Same kind of deal here. Enter, lost. This is when I. Anyways, it's kind of like with Take Two Interactive, same kind of trade where I enter, lost, and then but I got back in that trade. Didn't get back into this one. Too bad. ECN we looked at. Caterpillar. This was a pain in the butt trade too. This trade, I remember it had a lot of potential because there was a range. Like the next support was like 304. It was like 315. Look at that, I hit 315. I took a short at 325-ish and wanted like all the way down to 315, and I just didn't hold it. Again, 15 EMA. Once again, the 15 EMA might be the biggest thing we're learning on this walkaway, is that the 15 EMA is a monster of an EMA, and probably even better than the 8 when it comes to, you know, staying in a trend and leaning on something for support, right? And again, like if you had leaned on the 15 EM8 when I took the trade, like at that point it was 343. So if I size for 340, which is insane by the way, like I should use a debit spread or something, because there's no way I can size for that and make any money on this trade, right? So that's fine. But say I do size for the 15 EMA, which is shares. Like by the time I need to actually use it's at 334, right? So I don't know. Like, I wish there was a way to like calculate the EMA where it would be like 3 days later, because like this stock isn't going to break the 15 EMA in like 2 days, right? Like it's just, even like look at this, like so strong down here, didn't even get close to it. So I wish I could calculate where it would be in like 3 days and use that as a price level to size my trade off of. So anyways, yeah, Caterpillar, I just didn't stay in it. It's just as simple as that. I swing traded this. I got in at a good time. Yeah, look at this, nice little boom, and then boom boom, gets down, eventually goes through VWAP. I didn't sell. I learned my lessons about VWAP, right? So but fortunately, you know, it had all this strength here, and eventually I just got out. But realistically, had I stayed into this trade, I would have done quite well eventually, but it would have taken quite a bit of drawdown. It also never really even broke out of this like compression. Like if I use the top of this red candle as a stop as well, I mean that's a 15 EMA anyway. But I used half of it. I used half this red candle as a stop. 335. So many things you can do in hindsight. It's kind of sad actually, but anyways, lost 155 on the stock. That's how it goes. That's how she goes. 39. Okay. Next day, June 5th. All right, SPY, June 5th. Boom. All right, June 5th, bull trend day. Let's look at the market. This was when we gapped up, I think. Nope, this is not it. This is when we got over this red candle. So then we got a nice bull trend day out of that. I remember this being pretty low volume. This was, so. But it's still going to be a bullish trend day just based off the price action alone. We took 3 trades. They were short and 2 longs. This square, I think, was what we looked at before. This was, maybe this is why I got out, huh? We had this bull trend day and I decided, I don't want to be in this anymore. What I'm learning is you should just, like, not ignore the market, but if you have a thesis on the stock, you should hold the stock until it's invalidated. Or there's, like, major news, econ coming out or something. Because a lot of these stocks, like, they respond to the market and like these big breakouts, but then they kind of go back to being weak. Qualcomm, I think this was a peak pick. I actually didn't realize it was a peak pick because I was driving on this day, so that's kind of funny how that worked out. I liked it. Should have used a 15 EMA. Should have used the 15 EMA. I'm a little bit annoyed that I'm seeing all these losses, but I'm really happy that I'm realizing how effective the 15 EMA actually is, because my God, does it just work. I had a decent little entry. Nice little entry off a pullback here. Ended up pulling back end of the day, but my stock at the end of the day was good. It got really weak over the next 2 days, right? Consistently weak. And like these stocks will do that. But 15 EMA, had I run that up, I would have, got through this breakout and would have been home free. I don't think I even sized it that poorly. It was sized well. In fact, 212 down to 202 at $10 on it. That's 10%, man. Pardon me. That's 5%. Yeah. I almost could have made it with just that sizing I had, but anyways. Square we looked at, and then Lily I took. This is a longer term swing. This is a nice swing, huh? Oh, this is the oh yeah. This is the debit spread I was saying. Look at this. I made no money on it. I lost 265. I made 265. on this 870, 880 call. I bought it way down here somewhere, and I sold it up here, and I still didn't make any money. Like, it's just the way the spreads worked, and I didn't really know what I was doing with it. Anyways, I also traded it with shares, it looks like, from the 5th or the 6th. So that's cool. Yeah, made a little bit of money with the shares. All right, we're almost done this, guys. Looks like we're going to go to the 6th. We looked at all these trades so far, except for BLMN, so I'll bring up this. These are all swing trades now. 6th. All right, so PG we already looked at, TikTok we already looked at, Lily we already looked at, Netflix I don't think we looked at. We'll look at Netflix real quick. I remember I took a loss on this. Yeah, I took a nasty loss on this Netflix trade. Again, 15 EMA. Just should have relied on the 15 EMA, and it would have worked out really well. I'm not going to look at this too much because realistically, the entry is fine on a D1 basis. Like, it's a little pullback. I should have confirmed it more, but it's fine. Like, it's bullish, and pulls back the next day, and I get out right away. Like, I should have just stay in the trade, buddy. Stay in the trade. 41. I look like an idiot. Was I oversized on this? No, I was not oversized. It's also nice to see that I'm not oversizing these trades anymore, so that's good. Ooh, June 4th. Why are we on June 4th? We're supposed to be on the 13th. No, June 6th. Okay. ADI was a Watam I followed Dan into just to learn them, so I'm not going to look at that. I was just learning the structure of the trade. BLMN was a nice short, and actually this was probably a short it's one I'm proud of because I actually stayed in this trade, and wrote it out a little bit. So I got in. Look at these. Looks exact same. This is June 6th. This is June 10th. Looks the exact same. Anyways, I bought puts on this one too. So I learned a lesson with puts. Don't buy shitty illiquid stocks with puts because it was really hard to get out. But I did get out. Got up for 60 cents a profit on like 4 contracts. So that was a nice little profit. Ultimately, it kept moving in my direction. So should have stayed in the move. But the SPY at this point was this June 10th. Was getting pretty bullish. Look at this, very bullish. So June 12th, it made a big move higher. So even though BLMN was weak, it was still a decent little short there. All right, so move on to June 7th. June 7th is where I lost all my money. Big losses because I took losses on CAT, LVS, Qualcomm, and Netflix. So that's why this was a crappy day. So we don't need to look at any of these stocks. We've already looked at them, but that's where that was crap. And then June 8th, June 9th, June 10th. Took profits on BLMN, and then I opened an A firm. I think this is a day trade, and then it looks like a Meta. I think those are my BPs on Meta. Oops. Get our SPY in here. It's taking a while, isn't it? Might be overloading these poor servers. I think it also needs another day of data. That's probably why. 7th to 10th. Yeah, try that. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Looks like gap down and then move higher on the 10th. That was, sorry, is this the 10th? This is the 10th. So 10th was just right here. So going nowhere. Compressed. Okay. BLMN, we took profit. A firm. Just close this out. We don't get those notifications. Good. Okay. So this is A firm. I went short A firm. I should not have gone short A firm. Just looking at this D1, I can say right now, should not be short A firm. I hope I got in and out on some puts, on some debit spreads. I think this was. Yeah, there's no reason I should be in that. That's just terrible trade. All right. And then these are my bullish put spreads on Meta. I think. Yeah, these are bullish put spreads on Meta. I took pretty good profit on some of these. Look at this. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. I don't know how to stop them. Spotify has just invaded my computer. Anyways, what are you gonna do? Alright, June 13th. Took a lot of trades here, huh? Alright, we're almost there. June 13th. June 13th was crap. This is just a crap day. Why am I taking so many trades on the crap day? I think a lot of these were actually swing trades. Probably what happened here. Like Lily was first taken. Yeah, we already looked at Lily. Meta we already looked at. Netflix $6 stock. What happened here? Oh yeah, I started putting in trade plans around this time. So these are kind of cool. So, oh my god, if it ever stops like spazzing out. So you can put like the market category in. This was a low probability environment. You can put like, you can click different things, and then now I can click stats based on like, you know, the stock. And, you know, for example, I can say, okay, on stocks with an R&R of 3 to 1, this is my profit factor, this is my win rate, that kind of thing. So I can start to get more data on stuff like this. So it's not like super useful yet. It needs a lot more data. Roku, this was a failed swing. Oh yeah, this is another debit spread that should have made me money, but I didn't. Look at this. I got in here at like $54. I tried to sell down here at $52. That's a massive win. 54.40 to 52 on a $50 stock. That's like a 4% winner, right? But I lost money on it because it's debit spreads, and I tried to do stuff with it. I tried so hard to make money with it, but I couldn't. So yeah, I mean, there's ups and downs to debit spreads, and sometimes the bid ask is so messed up that you can get screwed. And I definitely got screwed on this trade, so big rip to me. SE, same kind of thing, whereas I got the direction right, and then, oh no, I just sold too early. SE was not the fault of the spread. That's just me. I should have held one more day. Oh well. All right, so those are both winners in my mind in terms of direction. And at least the loss was not too big. All right. June 14th. Let's go at this chart. All right, another LPTE day, maybe bullish, but I'll call it bullish. But man, that's crap. That's crap price action. This is the 14th of June as well. ALB and okay, Robinhood was a time spread, so no reason to look at that. Let me just mute this conversation. Maybe that's what I can do. Notifications, mute notifications. Here we go. All right. So ALB, nice, really nice. I wish I stayed in this stock longer, but alas, I didn't. Nailed it though in terms of size. It's not 18 grand. I used I had some ads and stuff in here, but it was like ads and then take off and that kind of thing. What the hell? All right, let's delete all these charts and then just add in the default charts. Also have my trade plan here. This is a grinder stock. Nice breakdown of major level and heavy volume. Stop is the breakdown area. Yeah, I can't complain about this. Why is it giving me... Oh, no, here we go. That's fine. Yeah, nice breakdown. Okay. Oh my god, I clicked option flow. UPS, shop. Shop. Oh yeah, this was me trying to get in on shop. It had some good strength here, but quickly rejected. I don't always need the stock to touch the SMA for it to be rejected off the SMA in my eyes. So here, like, look at this, just like total rejection here. So I ended up getting out. Here's my entry over here, and I withstood this, and it bounced great. But that to me is like a rejection of the SMA, and so I was happy to get out the next day once it gapped down a little bit for a little loss. So that's why that is a loss. Netflix, this was something. This was a debit spread. Yeah, it's a debit spread on Netflix. I don't know what this is. Like, I got lucky here, I think is what happened. Here's my entry on the 17th of June. Here's my exit at the end of the day on the 18th of June. So I ended up just taking profits going in. I think there was a CPI or something here. 18th of June, somewhere around here, we had news. Anyway, so that was me getting out. This actually was a good trade, honestly. AVGO. Oh yeah, I followed into this trade here. I liked it. I like these post-earning trades. I've done them a few times now. Like as long as the second, like you can play them both ways, but like I wouldn't short AVGO, whereas I would go long AVGO if it gap down. So just bait. Like I go in the direction of the D1 trend. So this was a gap up, but now it's in the direction of the D1 trend. So I took some call debit spreads, and that worked out really well. Then Robinhood was the time spread. All right, moving right along. All these were old. Oh no, we already went through that day. All right, 16th, 17th. SC we already talked about. Shop we talked about. Netflix we talked about. AVGO we talked about. So let's talk about ZM, and ZM was a nice short. 7, oh, it's the 17th, not the 18th. That's why. Oh. Maybe that will make it work. Okay. So 17th was a really nice bullish trend day. Bullish trend day. So ZM, this is a nice short. I took shorts really have been working recently. Nice breakdown of this level. This is clean. Like some of the shorts I've looked at, I just go, what am I doing? This is a clean short. Nice clean. Got my alert here. Hopefully I bought it in a pullback. I did, yeah. So this came down, pulled back here, retested, compressed. I got in here, and then I don't think I sold for like a few days. Scroll back up. I sold 2 days later, so not bad, right? Made about 50 to 60 cents on the spread. I took it as a spread because these two breakout candles were pretty aggressive, but the 15 EMA was right there, so I probably could have just used that, or even the SMA was right there. So I took it as a debit spread just to be safe, and looked out pretty well. But obviously, if I took it as straight put, so it would have been a very nice trade, right? We got it in as like right around here, $58, sold at 57. That's like, yeah, it's really nice, very very nice indeed. Okay, view day, and then we'll talk about. Oops. I hate how if a stock was first taken on a different day, it'll go to that day when you back out. Okay, Amazon. This was a credit spread, I think. Let me check. This was a credit spread. Yeah, this was credit. And I think I'm still in this, actually. Yeah, it's like one of the 3 positions I'm still in. So, there you go. And it's working out quite well. I tried to get like 80 to 90% on it. on the close on Friday, but I couldn't get it. 18th, this was LPTE. I remember I took Chewy here. I didn't know about Chewy being so like a meme stock kind of thing, so ended up getting Chewy on a pullback. Again, I could have stayed in Chewy for sure. But anyways, I took probably the high day. I didn't really need to get too crazy with it. Here's Chewy on the pullback, and we got out. Could have rode this move higher, and I probably should have, but I didn't. So I'm gonna say that's a miss exit. Okay, and then I think we're almost done here, guys. I think there's like 1 or 2 more days. June 19th, no trades. June 20th was. Oh yeah, this was tragic. All right, SPY here. This is the 19th or 20th. I'll go with this. I think it's 20th. Okay, so June 20th, this was a bearish trend day. Let's call this bearish. Let's call this bearish actually. No, this is a bearish trend day. This is a bearish trend day. Okay. So Roku we talked about already. Eat was a nice little entry. Nice pullback stock. Compressed, move higher. And then we had, yeah, just got in and got out really quickly. Always love when they move in your favor right away. So did not have to be in that long. It was like 1 bar. And then ALGN, this was a mistake. I don't know. I got an alert on this and I got too antsy. It's another one of those like into the gap kind of plays, and I was like, oh, I love these plays. So I got in a little bit too early. I didn't need to, and ultimately, you know, we'll see how this shapes up. But you can see here ALGN. I got short right here because it like retested this level, and I thought this was like a definitive, but nope, just moved back higher. So I had to get out for a loss because I didn't have any confirmation, and the SPY is pretty bullish. So that's what happened there. I would say it's hard to know if I got this one right or wrong, so I'm not gonna keep track of that. And then Roku, we already talked about the tragedy that is Roku. And then I think the next trade is the 21st. This is our last day. Sure, we'll do this one, and then we'll be done. I keep getting notifications, even though I muted the notifications. All right, chart. So Amazon, we talked about our bullish put spread. Google, I think I tried. Oh yeah, I should have stayed in this trade. So Google, nice little breakout, you know, of this level here. You know, okay, cool. So I get in. I think I got in on a pullback. I do kind of get in on a pullback. Not really. It's more of a breakout. I just wuss out. It doesn't even break the ADMA, and then it just makes us move higher. So ultimately should have stayed in that trade, but I did not because reasons. I wasn't even oversized. I put like $6.5 grand into it. And then TCOM, another tragedy. So TCOM, I had a stop at break even. I got it on a pullback. It tested my pullback, and I had to stop here. Don't use stops, guys. Stops are terrible, right? Because contextually, I should not have gotten out here, and I normally would not. And I missed out on all this profit down here. So, you know, I wasn't oversized or anything. I just didn't want to take too big of a risk on a day like this. And also, I'm kind of just tired of losing money. I think there's a mindset component to that. But mostly it's just, I thought with the way the market is here, right? Like, you know, it's more bearish, fair enough, but maybe this is a bounce off the ADMA, and I didn't want to be a part of the ADMA bounce if I'm short a stock, which has, you know, not been it's been weak for sure, but it's been like traditionally a strong stock, so it might just be a little pullback in it. So I didn't really want to take my chances too much, but I do like it because it does have room down to the SMA, so that's why I entered that. And I think that's it. Yeah, we're at the 20 seconds. So there you go, guys. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes here. I'll show the spreadsheet. So biggest thing we learned. So yeah, I picked the right stock out of the ones I was keeping track of. I didn't keep track of any bulls, put spreads, WATAMs, time spreads. So I took approximately 65, 70 directional trades in the last 3 months. 2.5, I guess. June's not done yet. Which is not a lot. But certainly I missed a lot of days of trading because of work and my wedding and stuff. So I would say I probably missed like 20 days with that stuff. So if I take a trade a day, I'm up to closer to 80 to 100, right? I would say that I'm clearly right a lot of the time. So in my mind, I should be leading on D1s. I think the 15 EMA is like the biggest thing I learned, is that the 15 EMA is a monster-driven EMA. I exit a lot of times, and I'm oversized plenty of times, but the oversizing really, like, I stopped that going into June, so that wasn't really an issue anymore. But, you know, exiting inappropriately also became less of an issue over time, and in June I'm pretty happy with the way I was exiting. I just need to size for the 15 EMA, really is the main thing I'm learning here, and see how that goes. And then always use at least VWAP for a stop is another thing I had written down. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. This was a long stream. I'm tired. I'm gonna go get something to eat. It's been like 3 hours. But this is how I do it. TradeViz is the software I'm using here, guys. It's really quite nice. Like it just got everything for you, right? Like you have your actual trade tables. You have within each trade you can explore, like I was showing you guys. You can customize all this stuff, right? All this stuff is customizable. You get charts, you get everything. It's really good software. I think it's probably my favorite journaling software. So definitely at least give it a look next time you're looking for a journal. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Yeah, happy to help, guys.